Onward through the blizzard they do ride. Onward through the blizzard they do ride. With bread and butter and faithful hounds beside. The faithful folks of 10 towns they defend, and the rotten folks of 10 towns they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart they'll pierce the veil, strike at the heart of the rill. Forces they do not know they are heard. The forces they do not know they are watched. All the lonesome cry of forgotten beasts will save us all or be a feast for winter. Okay. Yeah, that's a good starting place. Rough draft, Everybody's a Mimic theme song, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Take one. You wouldn't forget. It's cold on the mountain tonight. Yes, it's cold on the mountain tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight.
And hello everybody out there. Welcome to Everybody's a Mimic. We are an actual play 5th edition webcast. We're a webcast. We're here on the web. We use Roll20. Yeah. And we are playing Rime of the Frostmaiden, Icewind Dale. My name is Cora. I am your dungeon master and the voice of many of the characters that you will hear today. And joining me is Blake, who plays...
I play the actual DM, Del Nadre Miracos.
Everything is just like coming out of your mind.
Of course.
Well, last week's revelations definitely play into that theme. Then we're also joined by Carson,
playing Beat the Yeti Mated, the coldest boy you still want to cuddle up to.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
That's good. That's really good. And finally, rounding out our group for today is Ray.
Hello. I'm Ray, and I play Rosemary Bone Crusher and Breathe Tea Leaf because character's so nice you'd have it twice. Yeah. Got it in one.
Unfortunately, though, you're playing both of them at the same time, so when one dies, both die, and you still have to reroll 2 more characters the next time around.
Yeah, I have to have another character who has a secret identity, like ghost living in her body.
You play another character that now has 2 ghosts living in your body. You have the ghost of Rosemary, who is possessed by the ghost of Bree, possessing whatever this other person is.
The main goal of this campaign is to get as much ghostception as possible.
Yeah. Your next character is going to be a used capybara salesman.
Oh my god, no, your next character is, whenever you die, you have to choose bread or butter dies with you, and then you play the remaining capybara as a capybara vengeance paladin.
Oh my god.
Why can't they both die and then she gets to play a revenant capybara who comes back to avenge their all collective murder?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I have unfinished business, says Undead Samurai Butter.
here's how you get extra ghosts in there.
You just have
It's
capybara
bread and
ghosts.
butter's soul in one capybara revenant, or it's
Hell
a
yeah.
two-headed capybara revenant.
Hell yes.
And they are haunted by Rosemary, who is possessed by Bree, or haunted by
We
Bree.
found, my family came to visit and we found a Cards Against Humanity card that was sewing two hamsters together to make one super hamster. And that's basically what we need to do with the capybaras.
What?
If they die.
What? Okay, I'm making sure we don't introduce any more or any necromancers into this campaign as of right now. I don't want to have to.
Sewing two hamsters together to make a double hamster supreme. That's the card.
We're
Sounds like
cutting
it's on a
the
Taco
ball
Bell
from that.
menu.
Literally,
It's on
yeah,
your
literally
Taco
the
Bell
card
menu.
that it was. The card that was used was new at TGI Fridays. What you've been waiting for, the blank burger. It was the double hamster supreme burger.
Necromancy is such a wholesome profession, though. I mean, it's all about raising a family.
All right. Well, we normally are joined by our fourth player, Levi, but he is
Played by Ben.
Yeah, his character played by Ben, but he is not going to be with us today. So I hope our party is ready to go big or gourd home.
Is that because it's Halloween?
Fall, but yeah. My
Yeah.
Gordo lantern.
I wish you got gored.
It's mean but funny.
All right, well, now I'm afraid to go hunting with you now, Carson, because I feel like you might have some ulterior motives there. Oh,
Hey, as
look
long
at
as it's
that
not
big
pigs,
buck.
go in.
All right, well, if you joined us last time on our stream, our characters wrapped up all of their business in the town of Lonelywood. For Rosemary, although you weren't here last session, this would be your last session for you. It's still fresh in your mind, the interactions you had with Lina and the Tea Leaf family. For Del Nadre, the reveal of Del Nadre's heritage or lineage as a Kalashtar, potentially the last Kalashtar, came out. We had a nice little dreamscape monologue by myself with some how would you describe Del's situation, emotional state? Yeah, there you go. I didn't want to say situation, but I didn't know what else to say. State when you were in that room, Del.
Confused?
Confused, yeah.
I think confused is a good word.
That's true. I mean, you tried everything to just try to get out of there, and the woman wouldn't let you walk out the door, so you were very confused. Like, this door right there. And well, Bitte, you were there too, and Bitte had some good interactions with some of the miners and the speaker there in Tourmaline, which the party found themselves heading down the road because Levi had wanted to go and assist the miners with their kobold infestation that they have in the mine. You guys came into Tourmaline. You discover there is a new play opening up, a new theater opening up, rather, with a grand opening play in town. You got some tickets as part of your rather hefty price for the inn, the underground inn that you stayed there in Tourmaline, and you guys went out to the tavern, the Blue Clam, as it was called, found the drunk speaker, and discussed some sensitive matters with the miners there in the Blue Clam. Do you, Del, Bitte, do you guys want to bring up Rosemary a little bit about what your characters are feeling about Tourmaline?
Suspicion.
We kind of did off.
Some, like, yeah, I heard there was some political intrigue of like someone of the miners are trying to use this situation to potentially force a election or a special election, but then the speaker wants us to look into any sort of plots against him. Also, did we have a long rest? Because I'm at 15 HP. Is that
Yes,
intentional?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yes,
most
we
definitely did.
Okay.
Actually, everyone rested, but you took the complete night shift.
Yeah, I damage tanked while I was away.
Yeah.
You took the night shift sprinting the entire time, so you have 3 levels of exhaustion.
You know, casual.
Hey,
Yeah.
that should be
Sleep
fine.
scab.
I spent the night actively trying not to sleep, and I still got a long rest.
It's true. Although you were not successful in trying not to sleep, you did eventually fall asleep screaming, and you were woken up by the I forget what her name was, the half elf.
So did Dell.
Yeah, so the half elf whom you shared the night with woke you up and basically kicked you out because you were screaming, just screaming, which is honestly a given your recent situations that went on. But yeah, you definitely did not get any sleep. So continue if you want to.
Oh, I think that was you echoing through.
Was it me?
Yeah.
I think it was you.
Oh shit.
That's okay.
Am I
think-
echoing
No,
a
like
lot?
not
don't
from
hear it
your
anymore.
not from your microphone. That was your own voice from someone
Oh,
else's.
okay. I answered myself. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, so yeah, there was some political shit going on. It may end up turning into another good meet, but we'll find out that as things go on. It's definitely seeming like there may or may not be a special election, depending on how the party decides and what side they decide to put. They decide to put their power behind. But you guys
I can't wait to get Corey all set up for another election and then just not participate, just like dip.
Looking
just
forward
move
to
on.
the general fantasy. Like, so many campaigns are a growth of the party through like leveling, becoming really powerful like forces in the adventuring world. In this campaign, like our character arc is just assuming political power of all of 10 towns. Like, we win when we're elected president.
We win when every single one of us is the speaker of a different town. Speaking of elections, I just had like Travis County Democrats come by my house to talk about Prop A. So I hope all y'all are voting, and I need to do some research and figure out what I'm voting for.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, same. I'm ignorant, but that's fine.
Prop A is something, but we're not going to get
Wealthy
into that.
Republican elites who want to cut basic city services is the thing that she left unpaid for.
That's 100%
That's
true.
unfortunate,
We do
but-
live in Texas.
I don't think
Yeah.
we should use this podcast as a political platform.
We will do that on our political platform. Everybody's
We will-
a politic.
We will only use it to create our
Everybody's a
own
voter.
communist utopias in fantasy.
Yeah. Like, the only politics we're allowed to talk about are good meat politics.
Put your 5d6 away, sir.
the elites of good meat are trying to cut the wood power rations to the different disimpoverished.
Did we all just take 17
Or
political damage?
I don't know.
17
You
political.
take 17.
You all drop 17 points in the polls.
Everyone
No.
takes 1d4 psychic damage for every political ad run.
Anyways, we're going to get started today. We approached the mine from Tourmaline, just a quick 30-minute jaunt down the trail, and we find ourselves standing outside. Actually find ourselves on the map inside, but for Rosemary's purposes, we will redo the description of the outline of the mine. So as you guys approached, you left out of the woods to the northeast of town. You
Okay,
traveled
so
along-
we're arriving at the mine.
Yes.
We're
well,
in
Okay,
the
you're in
so
the
I've been listening back through the episodes. Great job, everyone, by the way. Except for me, whose throat sounds are atrocious. Um,
And
Beta has a shipment of mining gear that he will drop off to the mining off. Is there a mining office in town, or is it
now,
at the
so
mine?
you have this mining shipment. You also remember in the last episode, you negotiated with the speaker that he would allow you to take 30 pounds of just raw ore out of the mine because you tried to you tried to increase your gold. He didn't want to pay you any more, but he's just like, I don't really care. You can take some because if we don't get the mine back, we don't get that ore anyways. He didn't say 30 pounds of tourmalines. He said 30 pounds of raw ore, so like 30 pounds of chunks of like just rock. However much you want to, do with that, that's on you. But after 30 pounds, if it becomes well known, then that could cause an issue. Could.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, saying
Final
that,
question.
Yes.
This is very off topic, so let me get it out real quick. Not very off topic. It's still D&D. DM, do you remember if we already split the 35 gold payment from the initial payout at the Lonely Wood job, or
if I'm not mistaken, I believe it went into the sled gear.
Well, I put it on there just because I wasn't sure.
I don't believe it was like when they came back on the end of that last session because they got the gold at the very end of the 2 sessions ago. I'm fairly certain it was just they got it and that was that. They just set it aside.
Okay.
I don't believe Bitte, Rosemary, do you remember at all if you guys divvied it up and added 10 gold onto your...
I definitely did not add 10 gold at the start of the session.
Okay. We'll leave it on the sled gear, and then also just for housekeeping to put it on stream. The extra 40 gold, the extra 50 gold we got from the speaker. I took 10, and then the remaining 40, Bite is holding right now.
Yes.
Okay.
This was an additional payout that Del Nadri was able to secure through, honestly, business political pressure.
Yeah, these kids aren't going to college anyway. Let's be real.
Another area where we are bringing politics into D&D.
Okay. Sorry for that derail.
No, that's good. So yes. So Bitte, going back to that, knowing now, if this is something you would have done there, and as you walked into town, yes, you could have walked right up to the mining office. It's not a union. They don't have a union here yet. But they definitely have a central location where they come out of the mines in town, where they store gear and might meet up for the day and have meetings regarding the businesses of the mine, stuff like that.
Where they sled pool.
Yeah, basically it would have been some place that you had already had a delivery location for. Now, I don't know whether or not that would have been something you did before you talked to the speaker or after, because when you guys came into town, you pretty quickly, kind of got to work to figuring out what was happening.
Well, I think it was night, so probably not.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so then definitely on your way to the mine, you would have dropped it off, and I would say if you needed to get anything from it, you could. Although, just, understand that it'd be missing from the shipment. But it might not be.
Well, here's a question. Through any of our mingling in town, did we find out how the kobolds showed up? Did they show up during the day while they were mining?
They just kind of all you asked or figured out or heard was that the kobolds kind of came into the mine. Because of the way the miners function in Tourmaline, they're not always spreading around everywhere. Sometimes there are areas that they don't go to a lot. Also, although this is not really something you really are aware, something you're aware of, but the mine has a pit in it, and things
live in pits.
Things come from pits. So whether or not the kobolds came from above or below, nobody really knows. They just were there. And when the miners came to shift one day, so that's whether or not they were there the day before or they just appeared overnight, the kobolds were already there. And kind of then, miners got surprised. Kobolds were like, get out of here, and ran them off. But as far as like how they got in, did they just walk in? Did they come out of the pit? How many there are? Stuff like that. That knowledge, the miners don't really want to talk about it because they don't really want somebody to, outside of the way they describe to you, they don't really want somebody to come out and solve their problem for us. They are trying to use this situation to their advantage. Not the best thing. They're not really thinking it. They're not thinking out for the people of Tourmaline. They're thinking about for their own political gain here.
Yeah, people who want fair wages are just being selfish. Understood.
I don't think they had any. Well, yeah, sure. If that's what you assume, then yes.
No, that was just a lull.
What they think of the capitalism.
How much is a pickaxe?
Oh, I have a very helpful sheet right here that I can finally get to use. Okay, a war pick is a miner's pick is $2. Although I would $2 gold. I would say in Tourmaline you can definitely find one for a gold because it's just so it's utilized so often.
Yeah. Beta will take one pickaxe.
Okay.
And
do you want to get anything else?
I mean, what does Beta feel like he would need for the collecting of gems, which
I guess it
he's
depends.
probably done like a bit here and there, but he's never worked in a mine.
Right. So, and I was thinking about this too. It's like Dente wouldn't have ever looked at a mine as being not to say it's not profitable, but like as some place he would look to make money because he can make money doing hunting and things that he's really good at a much better pace. He doesn't know as much about mining, but you're going to need a mining pick because you're going to have to take the stuff out. I would think that you might want like a hammer. Because knowing that you are limited to 30 pounds, you might start to break up your ore into smaller pieces just to make sure you can get as much of the rock out of there if you have the time. So having some kind of hammer would be good. And then something to carry it out. Maybe a thick leather cloak or a canvas bag or sheet.
All right.
Sack.
Beta will buy...
A sack is a copper piece, so you can just say you have a couple of sacks. I'm sure you guys have the materials you need to make a sack, given that we've had sleds and have routinely strapped them down.
We'll use
he's gonna buy
end of the super special moose to make a sack.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
Sack carries 25 pounds, I think.
Well, yeah, that's good.
So yeah, he'll take a pickaxe, a sledgehammer, and 4 sacks.
Okay. I don't have how much is a sledgehammer? You can. I trust you to figure it out. Is that a weapon?
No.
No.
I think it's. Yeah. Let me. Pickaxe, 5e equipment. Sledgehammer, 5e equipment. Venturing gear, rarity common, weight 10. Does not say how much it.
Okay, we'll just go with
2 gold. 2 gold for a sledgehammer.
2 gold. Okay, so very similar to the pickaxe. We're gonna go with 1 gold because it is, very obvious a key tool for this town's economy. And so we're going to just say, so then 2 gold and 1 copper for a sack, a sledgehammer, and a mining pick. So I guess at this time, is anybody here planning on, does anybody here need to grab anything else on as you guys are walking out?
Can we leave our sled dogs and bread and butter at the hotel?
As last I had seen.
Yeah, the sled
yes.
dogs are outside, I believe, and bread and butter we smuggled inside because it's supposed to be no
Nice.
pets allowed.
Yes. You
We
just
pushed
They're-
them through the window in.
Nice.
And obviously we hung the do not disturb, like, no housekeeping sign outside the door so that the housekeepers will come in and find 2 capybaras.
Nice.
Yeah. So you guys are approaching. So if there's anything else you guys do not want to buy, or want to buy,
There are many things I do not want to buy.
but unless there's anything you want to buy, we'll kick it right off with the description of the mine.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, 30 minutes outside on a good walk down the trail from Tourmaline. You come to the entrance of a gem mine. There's an open tunnel in a hillside. Now it's the morning of the next day. You guys woke up, got your stuff handled, and have headed out to the mine early in the day. It is very chilly. Overnight, it's kind of cold front has came in. Now there's not a lot of snow, but the wind is whipping up. And you can see the torches that may have once lit outside are just dead there on the outside of the gem mine, and it is dark inside. There are some empty carts that are parked near the entrance next to what is a crude wooden sign that has been propped up on the side of one of the carts. Written in this idyllic calligraphy-like script is the words "Kobolds only" in common.
Right, which didn't seem.
Yeah, there's like some extra filigree there added onto it, like an underscore with like 2 little dashes, an underline that like curves off and whips around on each side with 2 little dashes through it.
They've got like the so fancy one letter so fancy it looks like another letter, like Disney.
Yeah.
The Disney G.
And so the entrance to the mine stands before you, and the cave entrance is kind of nice and wide, but it's very quickly comes down and shortens and reduces in size till it gets to about 5 or so feet across with about 7-foot high ceilings, and that is like the true choke point entrance into the mine.
So we rolled our stealth checks last session before we head on in, and I split off from the group because you guys are not being very quiet.
Yeah, so
so I'm gonna
just to bring back all those stealth checks. Yes, Delnadra got an 18, Bitte got a 7, Levi got a 4, and Rosemary, you got a 6 for your stealth checks.
Sounds about right.
So before I split off, I'm gonna give my hooded lantern to Levi because I know he's also a blind human like me.
Yeah.
And I'll give him my oil flask. So, I don't know, could you add those to his inventory so that they're not completely forgotten? Because I'm going to take them off of mine.
Yes.
Here, use this. If you guys need to, need a light or something, you can use this, because you can shutter it closed. It'll be, stealthy and...
What are you talking about? It's, bright.
I mean, some of us... Not all of us have, cat eyes,
Yeah, I forget that you guys can't see things. You have weird eyes.
I forget you are all blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me add that real quick to Levi, and then also at the same time, just so that make it easier, I'm going to give you guys control of Levi's character. And that way you can be responsible for making sure the light shines. And I guess really, truly, this only affects you, Bitte, and Del. If you, that way you have a person you can control. So it's 30 feet bright light, 30 feet dim light. Okay.
But I imagine we're gonna hood it. Not just gonna go
Yes.
walking in with a bright light
Yes.
at the
yeah.
moment.
It's like, it's 30 and 30. And then you can bullseye it to make it 60 and 60. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Wait, so it can be
Can't you
hooded
also
and
like
bullseye?
shutter it closed?
You can also shutter it closed, yes. Okay, good. And
Yeah,
then-
so then it just does dim in a 5-foot radius.
okay. It's directional light. What is it? What's a cone for that? Like 45 degrees?
Dude, D&D cone math is really difficult because
No one knows what
The-
cones are.
the official ruling for cones is that the width of the cone at its maximum point is equal to the length. So if it's a 30-foot long cone, at the farthest part, it's also 30 feet wide.
Okay.
So it's always an equilateral.
Triangle.
No, it's not equilateral. Sorry, it's an isosceles triangle, but it's not like a set angle because the longer you're. Well, no, I guess it is a set angle because that's.
It's
It would increase
absolutely
at the
set.
same. I don't fucking know.
The mathematical term would be similar.
Yeah, they're. Dude, I'm just gonna go ahead and I can't brain that knowledge right now.
All right, so you guys
But
should
also,
have
since
control
you're
of Levi's
while you're
character now.
messing with lighting, go ahead and can you give me what would it be? It would be
Oh, you're
can you
flaming
give
light.
me 20 can you give me 25 feet of dim light?
Mm-hmm.
Because I am going to cast dancing lights. So I'll create 4 torch-sized orbs of light. I'm going to specify that it's because it's always dim light, but I'm going to specify that I am creating like gray-colored orbs,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Because dark vision, you see in black and white. My intention is that if it's like a gray-colored light, someone with dark vision might not immediately be like, hey, there's light over there because I can see a color purple. They might just be like, it does appear a little bit brighter over there, but it doesn't immediately register as being light because it's the same shades of gray.
Okay. I like that.
And I'm just going to surround myself with them. So
All right, so it's concentration up to a minute, but I will assume.
yeah, it's a cantrip. So I
As
mean, I'll
you
just
mo-
keep
So as you
I'll
move
just
along,
keep re-upping it.
yeah, okay, and it does
then if we can
require you to talk, but you have a pretty good stealth check. So until it comes up, just keep it. I'll keep that in mind. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So you have your light. Levi is there. Can you guys test to make sure you can control his character? Just try to move his token along.
I did.
Okay, and do you have that little like dot?
Yeah,
at the
to
top?
rotate.
You can rotate it. Excellent.
Yep.
Okay, all right. And is that a big enough cone? Would you like a smaller cone?
No, I think that works.
Okay. All right. Well then, let us get started. So you guys descended down some rough-hewn steps, 60 feet in past that little entrance point when the cave entrance kind of like closed down a little bit. And the further and further you got, the cold weather outside kind of started to, like you were walking into some warmer weather. It's not warm, it's maybe like a 60 to 50 degrees, but when outside it's negatives, it makes a big difference. Any kind of cold weather clothing you guys may have been wearing to take to resist the effects of the weather outside starts to become a bit hot and sweaty and uncomfortable on you inside here, but it's not terribly hot in here. So you go down these 60 feet of steps, and then you come into this first room, and it has a number of racks on the wall that look like they're supposed to be holding picks and hammers, but all of the racks are empty. There are some broken pieces of wood that looked like maybe somebody destroyed some tools there on the bottom, and the floor of this chamber is covered in dust with lots of scrapings and easy to, you can tell there's footprints here, but there's so many moving in and out, some moving up the steps, more moving further in. You'd have to take a time to really check them all out. And just to reiterate, so when you enter a room, you can assume that the ceilings are about 12 feet. When you're walking through pathways, the ceiling goes down to about 7 feet. All right. And there are absolutely no light sources that you can tell inside here. As you look further and further into the tunnels, everything just sounds. There are sounds, weird cracks, some dripping, rushing of water, but nothing that may come from something that is alive. At least not off the top of your head. For the most part, the droning sound of water rushing from further into the mine kind of just dulls out. Gives you a bit of white noise.
Okay, once again, I'm gonna minorly interrupt the flow of this beauty that you're doing, because while you've been discussing, I went ahead and looked it up. So based on the D&D description, that the width of a cone is always equal to its distance from the point of origin.
Okay.
That would give you the angle of a cone is equal to the arctan of 1/2, which is approximately equal to 53.13 degrees.
Okay, I'm about to say, I was like, give me a damn good degrees here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
D&D cones are roughly 53 degrees at the angle.
I'm putting 53.1 degrees, and like most hooded lanterns, oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try this. 25. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Let's look how Levi's light is looking. It's coming off of his corner now for some reason. Oh, I see what I messed up there. Okay. All right. There we go. Excellent. That is your cone. That is your light that you guys have available to you.
Look at that cone. That's a nice
Also,
cone.
for listeners out there, you officially know when somebody says how big is the distance or what is the angle of a cone, you can be like, it's 53.1 degrees in D&D.
Say what you want about everybody's a mimic. We may not be good at roleplay, but at least we taught you something.
That's true. And surprisingly enough, it was about math, because as anybody who knows me, I am not I do not do math well.
So I'm actually a math major, so I have a literal college degree in math.
Okay, well then. Okay. It's a good thing. All right, well, let's just, D&D aside, let's learn more about the angles of cones.
Get this campaign out of the way. Bring up a blackboard. We're talking trig today.
Calculus.
Yeah, but it's still going to be taught by Rosemary.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, yes. Somebody's drawing something.
I'm drawing, but then it disappears in the darkness.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had this big black screen. I was like, we already have a blackboard.
Yeah.
But now I can't delete it. So, Corey, if you would mind.
Just some, like, honestly,
you
started with a triangle and then an X, and I'm like, what are you doing? Squid Games? Even though it was
Squid
an
Games.
I'm gonna disappear.
Oh, okay.
While they're all doing whatever it is they're doing, I'm gonna
We're talking about
slide
cones.
away.
All right, so Rosemary, you just watched Del Nante walk away, and Del Nante.
Do they with my 18 stealth?
I mean, I was standing directly next to you, so
Yeah, no,
She can, because she has night vision, so it has
I also have dark vision.
dark vision, yeah. So she can,
Yeah,
though.
that's
Bitte
good.
and Levi mostly because he's more focused on where he's pointing his hooded lantern. You guys do not notice Del Nante dip out, but it becomes evident as you guys look around that he's not there with you. Since you are aware that since you guys were looking forward and he did not disappear into the light, you know, easy process of elimination, that Del Nadre took the other room, the other entrance out of the room. So, to the northeast, Del Nadre enters another room. The floor of this east end dusty cave is about 5 feet higher than the west end. So in here, Del Nadre, what you're seeing there is slightly higher. And Bitte, you're just running off here, sir.
Sorry, Bitter's not running off. He's slowly exploring, and he had Levi kind of split the difference on these two
Keep going.
So, anyways, Del Nadre, in the room that you're in, the east end is 5 feet higher than the west end, and in that rocky little ridge, there are just some slopes on the other side. Now, here there is a pick that's leaned up against, or rather, a broken pick. The shaft of this pick kind of broken in half, leaned up inside that little alcove there. And small gem deposits in the ridge and the walls of the cave gleamed very seductively in the gray light of your dancing lights.
Color, is it just like a wide array of gems, or is it like specifically a certain color type?
They are a variety of colors, and they are, I saw it here, it was, oh god damn it, here they are right there. Pale green, blue, pink, red, brown, and black.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you to do exactly what you're doing right now. Thanks for being an absolute bro.
Yes, so they're not big. Tourmalines are not large gems, but there's just so many of them. So many, just like sparkling all on the walls.
Cool.
You
I'm
are
gonna make a note.
yeah,
of that.
roll me insight as well. You see this pick right there? You walk in.
Oh yeah, I did want to take a look at that pick and see if I could tell if it looked like it was broken from fighting or from, something else. But
Yeah.
that's a 10 for my insight.
Yeah, the gems definitely attract Del Nadre, but given that there's nothing useful in the room to help you, you are not just too distracted by them. The pick that you look at there looks like it's been just snapped in half. You don't see any evidence that it was like, some extra chipping or anything, but at the same time, I don't know if Del Nadre has a lot of experience on the proper wearing down of a mining pick.
Doubtful.
And so that's what
I
you
sell
have there.
clothing and clothing accessories.
Yeah, that's what you have there in your room. Now, Bitte, you travel down a little pathway, and you come up to a ledge. This ledge is about, let us say that it is 7 feet higher than the little dip. So something you could easily climb up upon if you wish to, as you walk down that little pathway.
Beta thinks to himself, there should really be handrails. There's going to be a disparity.
This is a fantasy OSHA violation.
In a dark room.
Making all these like notes for the union requests.
A dwarf with a clipboard appears behind you.
And there's nothing like on this lower level here.
No, it from what you can tell, what is your passive perception?
I think it's 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 14.
All right. From what you can tell, it just looks like there's just a bunch of rocks that are piled up there at the bottom. It might be a place that they kind of just dump some stuff up as they go along. You are more than 7 feet tall.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd say, because you could probably just look over if you just stepped up on some of these rocks. You could just look over the top, and you can see cart paths that go along and up there.
Vita will climb up the ledge.
Climb up the ledge. All right. So,
main room back here. Rosemary turns to Levi and is like, "Why does everyone just keep wandering off?"
Adventure! He shouts.
Nice.
Levi is excited. He's never gotten to hold a lantern before.
So Beta comes
Literally
back
holding
up
a
this
torch in
corridor.
this
It's like,
character
okay,
Yeah.
excellent. They connect.
But
I
never
went
a
down
lantern.
I went down the right path there, and it just leads to some kind of rock waste pit. Nothing special, and then there's like a little ledge, and I hopped up, and here I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should we go follow Dell? He just like walked away when you
Where
guys
did
were
Dell go?
looking. I mean, the only other way.
as a note, I want to keep track of where they are and keep my distance.
Okay. So as you hear, you hear Bitte. Actually, roll me perception, Donadre. Because
My
your
passive
passive
perception is 11.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to say that. If
Hey, their stealth rolls are below that, but
Oh,
here
no,
that's
no.
a 20, so I'll take it.
it's not that they're stealth.
I'm
rolls,
not arguing.
It's their. It's their. Can you hear them coming? Kind of situation. And yes, in this situation, you do hear them coming, as you hear Bitte and Rosemary just right down the hallway, talk about what Bitte had found. You know, the two other exits out of that room led in a circle, and Rosemary mentions, you know, maybe it was just the fact that you heard your name, but Rosemary mentions, we should probably go after Donadre.
I'm gonna slip away down this side hallway.
All right, so
Wait,
Rosemary.
that's it?
Okay,
There's not
so
more down
pause. Everyone,
Yeah,
hold
I'm
up.
gonna stick here.
All right, so
Everyone keeps
Rosemary.
fucking moving.
Hey,
Rosemary,
I can see just far enough to.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm peeking around corners. I'm not
Yes.
just blindly rushing.
No, that's true. That's true. So Bitte, Rosemary, Rosemary, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You and
I
Levi.
am-
Levi's with you. Okay, drag him along.
I
with you
am
today.
leading the guys over this way.
All right.
So
So you walk into
way.
this, and Bitte, are you with them as well?
Yes.
All right. So
I'm.
I need
It
a.
was the area that I went to? Was it just that, and the room ended? I thought the path went further down.
It does. Yes. When you climbed up, you took the path to the left, but there was a room there.
Okay, so Beta does not tell them that that's all there is.
Yeah.
Down those paths.
You were just telling them it comes back. You know, like
Yeah.
I assumed when you said that's all there is that one pathway was just a rock refuse, and that was it on that pathway. But yeah, so as Levi walks in with the hooded lantern pointing around, Rosemary, you walk in, and Bitte, you're following behind if you are. Roll me insight checks for you guys, as just, I mean, this is a really seductively gleaming room. Like, whether or not you are immune to the, you know, the greed, this room could, you know, really entice some people. So, Rosemary, you, of course, always a person of nature. You see the rocks, and what do you think about that? How do you feel as 17 helps you?
I mean, pretty rocks, sure, but I'm also like a druid and grew up with druid things, so I'm just kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool but weird, but I don't really think too much about it. I don't understand why the pretty rocks are worth a lot of money, I guess.
I want one interesting one to take home, but that's it.
Exactly, like literally, exactly. It's like, oh, like that would be a cool thing to keep in my pocket and like hold up to the sunlight.
Yeah.
Those are nice, I guess, but the gyms we had where I grew up were way better.
Yeah.
Levi is going to get
I'm
distracted
partial
for a
to
moment.
smooth river stones myself.
Levi's going to get distracted for a moment. Not so much from like the actual shining. I mean, yes, from the shining of the rocks here, but mostly because like as he shines his rocks, just the light that is refracted around in this little chamber, it just is he's just giving himself a little mini light show, you know. Getting a bit distracted at the moment. Now, Bitte, you rolled a crit on your insight there, 24. Originally, the roll was to kind of overcome the greed of this, but I mean, I feel like, you know, this is what Bitte was wanting to do here, right? I mean, outside of course, solve the problems, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always take note of it for later.
How do you?
Yeah,
how do
it's
you react?
pretty
Bitte?
close to the entrance, and it looks like a pretty rich vein. So Beta is just like, excellent. This will be This is where I will collect mine from when I return. And it will be extremely helpful. And Beta kind of studies a few pockets and makes plans for how he wants to get them out later.
All right.
DM, I have a question / Rosemary has a question.
Okay.
That she might end up asking.
Did
Bit-Day.
Rosemary raise her hand? Because we do have strict rules in this classroom.
Yeah, she's been raising her hand for like an hour, and she's like doing that thing where she holds it up with her other hand.
Levi finally turns around so the light shines on her, and he goes, "Oh, Rosie, do you have a question?"
Yeah, so mine's like usually you dig deeper to get more stuff, yeah?
Yes.
So, like, why is all of this right here? Like, we literally just entered.
It is certainly a bit strange.
You are still 60 feet under the ground.
Yeah, but like it's like right next to the mine entrance.
Yeah, like why didn't they mine out this vein instead of continuing
down deeper?
Yeah, of course.
Would that insight check tell him anything about why the miners would have left?
Honestly,
vein like this untouched?
It doesn't. Not every place in the mine that you're looking at it now, and this is something kind of Rosemary kind of brought up. Like, hey, why did they not? Why is this area not this like a giant open area where they've kind of gone through and gotten all the veins here? And you notice that some of the tunnels just look very natural. Like, it's very possible the miners happened upon this underground cavern and have just been mining throughout it what they see and aren't really like pushing out into it, but are just kind of just walking along, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
So like in this room, this is a good room though. There are some areas of this room, so like that upper little wider pathway up there does look like they have flattened that out and pushed back into it. But the part you just came through and the part you're leaving through, which you can kind of catch just a little bit of gray light coming from over there, is more natural in terms. And so that's what you are aware of there, Bitte.
Gotcha. Also, I'm gonna be not in control of my token just for a minute. My dog needs to use the restroom.
That's fine. That'll actually help me a lot because Bitte keeps running around this mine.
I don't have him sprinting.
He's just sprinting through the mine.
And I'm doing it that way specifically so you can see, so he doesn't just show up and skip over something.
That's true.
I'm doing this for you, Corey.
So,
is it just me, or is my character token bigger than the squares here?
I think he is. So let's... Boop. There you go.
Hey, I'm normal sized.
Boop.
Yay!
Boop. And... Good. All right. So, just around the corner, although, and Rosemary, you roll a perception as you kind of like, Bitte's answer your question. You guys are getting ready. You turn the corner, and hey, there's some gray light shining in this hallway.
Cool. I'm just kind of like trying to keep like a vague eye on him, like a, almost like a parent who's like not trying to like stalk their child, but just kind of keep them in view.
So you're just keeping an eye out for the gray light shadow, because I mean you're well aware of it.
Yeah.
And so it does pop up, especially in your night vision. It's just for you. It's just this like area of gray. You're just like, that's just more gray than that's natural, but it's not something you would have necessarily caught at first glance. It would have just been something you were like, hey, what's going on over there? But back to Del Nadre. Now, Nadre, you were coming up upon you kind of come around the corner as you walk towards this little room. The pathway is getting a bit smaller, a bit more cramped, and there is just like this wave of heat radiating out from inside this little room. Additionally, there's a much louder sound of rushing water. It's I guess I should say this. It's not really rushing, but you can hear the flow of water coming directly from inside this room. It is different, though, from the drone that you still hear coming from behind you. And additionally...
So it's not Russian, it's Slovakian.
Yes. And then right behind... right in front, you kind of got a little bit of a glimpse of them. But you ducked back around because you're trained at this. You are stealthing around. You cut around. You saw something, and you're like, no, and ducked back before they could see you. But you hear these chattering, the sounds of teeth clicking at each other, and as you've been sitting there and listening, kind of trying to get a good picture of it, you've heard some scuffles and some thumping of just kind of like a dull thud as things are colliding, but they're not really hard exterior. The chattering is like, did that come through?
Yeah.
Okay,
Appreciate
and
the
it was
teeth
terrible.
clacking.
I hate that sound.
good.
But I appreciate your dedication.
And so, yeah, Del Nadre, would you like to take a bigger, duck around the corner?
Yeah, I am gonna attempt to jump across the hallway to that other.
Okay.
Basically
So
around to here.
Yeah, roll me a stealth check as you make that dip and dive, and describe it to me as well. How are you doing this? Are you just rushing across? Are you?
So I'm from here. I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get low.
Mm-hmm.
Get low. I'm gonna leave the orbs behind where I'm at.
Gotcha.
So they're gonna continue. The orbs are gonna continue hovering in the space I'm at.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna basically crouch and across, and then I would shimmy against the wall up to this point to put my back against that curve.
All right.
And
Sorry, let me give you your light here. I think it was 20 and 20, right?
that's as bad as I can do with a 9.
Oh, okay.
As Del steps across a beautiful 6-inch long tourmaline rod that just snaps under his foot.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So okay, describe to me, how does Del Nadre? You are successful in getting across, of course. That's just a walk.
So same plan. I duck, go across, and then as I shimmy along the wall, because I left my lights behind and can't see, I just basically run into this corner here.
Right. You kind of shimmy, and it is
catch myself.
Yeah, and a chunk of rock with a tourmaline, a nice big tourmaline that was right there on the corner, does just break off as you kind of shimmy so quickly into it, and it was kind of jagged a little bit. Maybe it was not fully anything. Anyways, it falls, and the chittering in the room stops, and you hear this low, just this as these creatures step up. You can hear them, but you can't see them, Del. Do you wait for them to come? They are coming closer, and they are stalking. You can tell. You're so close you can hear them just barely above the babbling of the river that's going through here.
No, I'm gonna fucking run.
Just gonna fucking run. All right. Now, when you run, do you look behind you as you go? You get a little that section. Now, as you run as well, do you want to pull your dancing lights back to you so you can?
Yeah, as I enter their square, I'm gonna have them start following me again, but I'm gonna try to. So basically, I'm gonna try and shoot one over to me right now, so I can see down the hallway.
Okay.
See what's coming, and then I'm running with them back to the party.
The thing that is there, you saw it for just a moment before you.
I sure did.
You saw it for a moment, and the second you saw it, though, and you started running, you can hear it's coming after you. Bitte, Rosemary, Levi as well. Roll me perception checks as Del Nadre starts huffing around to see if you can catch an eye or figure out what's happening. Carson, some large rodent is coming after you. Del Nadre, some large rodent is coming after you because that thing, you saw it. It is fucking huge. It was roughly the size of a small halfling.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And it was dripping teeth. All right, and Rosemary, you are too distracted by
No
Levi.
idea.
I'm just
like, oh, hi, Levi.
He was at that
Yeah.
moment of like you know I don't know what you were doing with him maybe. But
I think that was 20
Rosemary's
feet,
a
so I'm gonna
mom
move
at the
30
mall,
over
like,
here.
okay, where are all my kids?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like, I'm just excited that Dale came back. I'm like, oh, hey.
all right, so Dell, as you
Where have you been?
as you
Did you
rush
make a
in,
friend?
you kind of like rush in, dip around the corner, and you get to that point. You turn around, or are you still like in the process of like I'm gonna just keep running after this?
No,
Vito
I'm
will
gonna
put
I'm
himself in front of Levi so the light doesn't get knocked down.
I'm
Do
gonna
you mean
I'm
like
gonna
you want to
pop
close the
over.
light out of there?
No, just so that Levi, as a not present PC,
Doesn't have to be.
is
the
not
person.
just the person being attacked.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, Del Nadra, go on.
I'm gonna basically pop back to here, pull out my short bow, ready an arrow, and just say, "Luke, we're gonna have company." No, guys, rats, big rats, like
Yeah.
bread and
Beat
butter
the-
rats.
Like these,
Beat
if I
the
take off
ready
my
to
hat and a rat
javelin.
comes out.
No, like the like bread and butter.
An Auto US?
They're not rats, they're capybaras.
Those then.
And Bitte, you said something.
Beta readies a javelin attack against any aggressive creature coming in.
All right. So coming around the corner, then, Del, Del said, with Bitte there, I would say you're gonna wait until he throws before you unloose your arrow.
Yeah,
Just because he
I
kind of
can't
is up in the way. So like the second he throws, then you'll know at least it's there. And Bitte kind of like coming out of the corner, out of the shadows over here, you see. Can you see them?
giant cap.
Yeah, you can see them. Two giant, rabid-looking capybaras.
How dare you?
So there definitely wasn't a reason or alternative motive for me posting aggressive capybara things in our capybara channel. I can also say that aggressive capybaras are a lot calmer than I had expected them.
Yeah, because they're literally like known for not being
They're
aggressive.
just chill potatoes. And it's like
Capybara aggression was that time where the two of them almost hugged.
yes, it was a 2.5 minute video, and it was like whoa, and all they did was just hug.
They just stood up and like put their arms around each other, and then they were like, "All right, we're done."
So yes,
Yeah, I feel better. Do you feel
That'll
better?
show you, eh?
So yes, so these two capybaras kind of like come, and they're like they see you, Bitte. They are in this aggressive stance, but they kind of like you weren't the person they were chasing, so they've stopped for a second. Would you have unleashed your oh god,
Absolutely.
unleashed your javelin? All right,
Yeah,
throw it.
Beta has dealt with many an aggressive animal attack, and a really effective strategy for discouraging a predator, even like a big predator who like the damage doesn't necessarily matter, is immediately indicating, oh, this thing can put a 4-foot shaft of wood through my leg.
So yeah, roll your javelin attack, and then now there's one that kind of stepped to the side. That was the first one that came out, and there's another one that's directly in front of you. Is there a choice in your matter of which one you'd like to attack?
The first one.
The first one. All right. So we'll go that the left one there in the map.
Yeah, and
it's kind of blocking the pathway that you had taken.
And there's no chance that I would have been able to use a bonus action, as well.
Not in this thing.
Okay.
No, your instinct would have been like just to throw it out.
Okay.
Unless
yeah,
you
they
wanted
are
to ready
charging.
your bonus action, and then your first turn would have been just to throw.
No, it's fine. Okay, so I'm rolling hand axe, but it's the same damage. It just I have the +4
Gotcha.
written down, programmed for the javelin, a +6 for the hand axe.
All right.
So 19 dealing
That-
9
That
damage.
hits, and 9 damage. You throw your javelin. Where does it hit the capybara?
I feel like just kind of like in the meat of the back. He doesn't. So this is more just like a wild animal interaction, and if you fuck up something's legs in nature, that shit's dead.
Yeah.
Like maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but that shit's dying. So he doesn't like target legs immediately.
Right.
So he puts it just kind of in the meat of its back.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I assume he's a bit taller than them. Also, is he having to crouch down in this?
100%.
Is this okay?
The
So
ceiling
this is
at
a
this
7
point
foot
where
tall
you
ceiling
are,
area.
yeah. As it gets near, if it's adjacent
Does I
to
get, like,
or
in
inside
here
a
a little
pathway,
better?
it is 7 feet tall, and it would be 7 feet until it opens up into a room. So like,
Okay, so he's like crouching and like throwing it like from like a height parallel to his shoulder
yeah.
and across his body,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he's got his shield up.
Okay, so you chunk the javelin. It gets the upper shoulder, the the body of the left capybara, and it squeals as it takes this javelin. That's a cue for you, Del Nadre, if you'd like to shoot your arrow. Would you like to target the same one as?
Man, I'm gonna say I can't even see shit past Bite.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially because he's in the way.
So I'm gonna hold that. I'm not gonna release that attack yet.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well let's so Rosemary, you see Bitte chunk a javelin. You weren't really able to do anything in preparation, but you still have this moment now to make an action.
I would like to try to see like if they actually are rabid or if they're just like upset.
They are not rabid. No. In front of you, you see 2 male capybaras, and male capybaras are just generally territorial with each other. In fact, are bread and butter 2 males or 2 females?
Wow, I've never thought about it.
Well,
your gender is capybara.
From what I discovered today, males are just the aggressive ones, and so these are males.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, so it's they don't look rabid, but they are very violent. They do have foam around the mouth, but it's not like rabies foam. It's just like.
I'm gonna use my action to do. What?
Oh, sorry.
No, what did you say?
What did you say, Betty?
Oh God, polite people being friends. I was say, is there a chance that one of these is a were capybara?
God.
That way, one of us can be a capiwara.
No. No. God damn it.
You do notice that both capybaras have like foam around their mouths, but then you also spot that they're both carrying cappuccinos and.
Oh goodness. I am gonna use my action.
Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna use my action to do Speech of the Woods.
Okay.
Which is the thing I can do. It doesn't require anything. Beasts can understand your speech and gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions, and I'm just gonna say, we don't want to hurt you, we just want to get past. Nobody has to die here.
Oh gosh, okay.
And Beta probably just lets out like a very predatory kind of
scream.
Yowl. Okay. Like a jaguar bark kind of thing.
Yeah. I do love that Rosemary's like, we don't want to hurt you. Moments after we hurt you.
I mean,
moments
that's
after
just
a giant
further...
a 4-foot javelin is sticking out of its back.
I mean, further proof. It's like if you fight us, you will get fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not something you can win.
Roll me persuasion with advantage since they can understand you.
Persuasion with advantage.
So
okay.
you can kind of calm them down, or at least get them to a point where like they're more tense rather than.
Ooh,
excellent!
I got a crit.
Yeah, on a negative
-1
too. So, yeah, the capybaras like freeze because, well, one, you're talking to them and that's not something they're used to. Now, Speak of the Woods? Voice of the Woods? What was it called?
Speech of the Woods.
Speech of the Woods.
I believe.
How exactly would they communicate, or is it just a one-way kind of situation? It says you can understand.
You gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions.
Gotcha.
Friendly beast can relay what it heard in the past. You can combine this ability with gifts to curry favor, as you would with any NPC.
Yeah. So, they
Take
stop.
the javelin, it's yours.
And so the one of them, the one on the left, has a lot more anger. You can tell from the emotions that's chittering. It's angry that it just got attacked by the horned one. It doesn't say the horned one, but from the emotions it describes, that's how I'm going to describe it in that situation. But the other one is kind of like, it's still tense, and they're just, it was their territory that they were fighting over. So it wasn't even that they were that they are friends with each other, but they are in this situation where, like, there was a non-capybara. So, of course, we have to get them gone before we can deal with our situation. So they've stopped for a second. So continue on. Rachel, you've
say, I see you were in the middle of something. We apologize for interrupting you. We're just trying to get past. If you have seen kobolds, some lizard people recently, we're just trying to see and perhaps discuss with them about these mines or these caves.
Yeah, so they don't really know what kobolds are,
which is why I said lizard people,
or they don't really know what lizard people are.
Never
would
seen
you
a
like
lizard?
to kind of like describe this more in like shapes or like sounds? Is something they could understand?
Yeah, she's just gonna start being like.
Anybody speak Draconic would be a good way to do it.
I don't speak Draconic.
I'm
I'm gonna like stick my tongue out and try to make lizard noises, like.
I honestly don't know if kobolds do that, but I'm going to say that
I don't either.
Yeah, the capybaras, they've stopped, and they like the one that wasn't attacked has like started to retreat back into it, and the other one is starting to back up now. They've gotten what you said. They kind of understand that you're not there to get into whatever was in that room, and so they're just gonna like kind of go back, and the emotions they're describing, they're very territorial. They just want you to go on your way. They don't want to just don't come, stay away, get out of here. That's what you're getting from them.
Cool.
And so they just kind of cut back in there with taking your javelin. You can hear the javelin like clanging around as it walks back in there, and then it gets back in there, and as like you hear it whimper because this one has lost.
Yeah. Beta turns to Rosemary and says, because he picked up on most of that conversation because of his ranger stuff. He goes, I feel a bit bad about the javelin specifically. I'm worried for infection. Do you think there is a way you could get that out and maybe give it like a poultice or something?
Yeah. I was actually just gonna ask like if I can go and try to give it some healing or like patch up the wound a little bit.
Okay, yeah, go in there.
Beta pulls out some like
see how it
sanitary
goes.
herbs and hands them over.
All right, so Rosemary, you're going to continue on into that hallway there. Del Nadre and Bitte, if you want to just sit there and wait, or you can kind of check out what's going on further in. But Rosemary, it's very much going to be a you situation here.
It was over here, yeah?
Right there, yeah.
Whoops. Here we go.
Yeah.
So this is the one that was hurt, yeah?
Yes, that is the one that's hurt. So just to give it a brief description of this room, because we haven't gotten a chance to do this, there's an underground river, that's the babbling brook that Del Nadre was hearing, flows to the far side of this cavern, which is supported by a stone pillar near the water's edge. That's right there, that little rock there that's blocking your view. Between you and the river are two halfling-sized gray rodents. At this point, only one of the halfling-sized gray rodents is one's in the little alcove there to the north, and across the way on what looks to be what they were fighting for is this little tiny outcropping that the capybara is sitting on. Right next to it looks to be a little swirling pool, and then the water flows from north to south here. Yeah, And the water is
Okay.
steaming. It is giving off heat.
Okay, so it's like a hot spring, I think.
Yes.
Okay. I will offer the giant capybara help for the wound that it has.
Okay. So
And I will
it's
offer
still,
a little bit of a ration to it.
yeah, it's backed up into this corner. The javelin is making it awkward, so it can't even fully get into the alcove without like hurting itself or like pushing the javelin, which is still sticking out of it. And it's angry and it's defensive, and even with your persuasion from before, it still is very wary. And as you approach it, it's backed up even more into a corner and starts to bare its teeth.
I'm going to what level spell is Goodberry?
I think it's a first level spell.
Yeah, it's a first level spell. I might as well just do some good berries and keep the rest in my pocket.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Goodberry and then roll it 2 good berries because I can
Okay.
make up to 10.
All right. Roll me an animal handling check along this as you do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Can Beta help by staying the fuck away?
Yes.
Is there any way I can like assist myself by like talking to it as I'm doing it? I'm like, I'm very sorry that my friend lashed out. We thought that you were going to attack us, and if you will let me, I would like to help.
It doesn't understand anything, but you may roll animal handling with advantage since you are also giving it good berries at the same time. So using gifts plus your speech of the woods. Excellent.
There we go.
You're able. It takes it and it kind of calms down. It doesn't think that you're there to hurt it. It calms down. You're able to get close enough to start petting it on its head. These capybaras are significantly bigger than bread and butter. Like at least 2 times the size of them. At least one size. I don't really. Well, a halfling is what, 3 feet tall?
Yeah.
And capybaras are at least like 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is at least twice the size of a regular capybara.
Damn.
Twice the height.
Twice the size in general.
I think animals are usually measured from like head to tail.
Yeah.
So probably twice as long.
I don't really. Yeah, it's the size of a giant rat in D&D. Well, these giant rats are the size of a small halfling. So, anyways, you were able to calm it down. So a giant rat is the size of a small dog, which is already the size of a capybara. So it's like a Great Dane. Let's go with that.
Okay.
This is a Great Dane sized capybara in front of you, and you are able to get close enough to pet its head, and you can grab onto the javelin if you wanted to. How are you going to deal with this? With its medical situation?
I'm going to say, with Speech of the Woods, I'm going to remove the stick from your back. I know it will hurt at first, but it will help in the long run.
Okay. All right.
And
roll
then I'm gonna
me a strength roll as you pull it out.
a strength roll.
Mm-hmm. I guess you could do athletics if you want.
My thing is 0 for both of them.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Oh, well.
That's a crit. Well, you're able to just in just this like a moment of surgery genius again. I guess I probably should have made you roll medicine there, but either way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Pulling
Save
it out
some
makes sense
20s
because
for the rest
Bitte
of us.
did just like chunk it in there. But
None of Beta's stuff is barbed, by the way.
true. So it does come out, but still was in there, and you're able to pull it out not only easily and quickly, but without jostling a lot. So the relative pain to the capybara is less. It does try to bite you though. As it tries to just snap at you. It's just an instinctual kind of thing, you know. It's just a creature.
Yeah.
And so let me get its little roll here, and it's gonna bite with a +4 to hit. So does a 19 hit you?
Yeah, that'll hit me, but that's okay.
All right. So 5 damage.
Okay.
So it bites you wherever you can, and it takes off a little bit of skin. It does. It has very tough teeth, It's sharp, but once it's done, once it bites you and like it realizes the pain is gone, it kind of just like it calms down. You can tell it's relaxed. It's not as defensive in this alcove. It's it's getting ready to it's no longer in as much pain. You've done well.
I kind of like pat him on the head and I say it's okay. Like everything's all right now. And I have a little herbalism kit. And if I can just like chew up something to like put on the wound.
Yeah.
And then so it doesn't get infected.
Yep. When's the last time Rosemary brushed her teeth?
Probably this morning.
Oh, okay.
I imagine she has some mint.
Yeah. Brushing your teeth is literally just like chewing on some mint, and it's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you're able to patch up the capybara. It does not look like it will be infected, although it has lost its fight and lost its standing. And the capybara that you're standing, that's right there in front of you, was the bigger one. It probably was the older of the two males, and it lost its home, potentially.
I pat him on the head and I say it's okay. You'll get him next time.
All right. So continuing back to the group, as you guys, Rosemary, do you go get a bite del Nadre? It seems that you have wandered off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just going through the areas that Bite already explored, so I don't need a secondary description. But
as Bite walks in, do you try to climb up or you try to go back around?
I'm going to try to climb up.
Okay. All right. So no need to roll. It's fairly easy. Bite, you're walking in as well?
Yes.
All right. And Rosemary, are you
He
going
kind of waits for Rosemary and then kind of says, I think this way.
Okay. So
For a bit.
you guys walk into the room. You guys can adjust Levi as you wish. You walk into the room. The floor of this tunnel, that little section there, was 7 feet that you climbed up. There are benches and tables set up in this room that look like workspaces where miners would likely clean and remove some of the excess rock, dumping it off into that little refuse pile there as they were processing their ore. Scattered across the floor here are a couple of hammers, picks, and broken lanterns. All of the tools have been broken, just kind of their shafts snapped in half, but the metal of them still usable. It looks to in here like things were kind of just dropped and then somebody came in and just destroyed everything. The tables are still good. There's chunks of ore everywhere, kind of like a half-finished day or a job, maybe something they were looking to pick up on the next day. And largely, it's just gonna be a bunch of piles of crap around workstations. We'll say there are 2 sections of workstations, one in the little place that Del Nadre is, and one right there next to Levi on the east side of the room.
I don't remember an exact number, but I believe we do know how long the kobolds have been in the mine, like
roughly 3 days.
okay.
So, listening back through the recordings, I feel like it's probably more than that.
Now,
Because when we were in Bryn Shander, they were saying that folks had gone and come back.
right.
I thought it was like a week or so, but
So the quest itself just says 3 days, but you guys did get the rumor a while ago as it was going on there. And
Okay,
I think
was like when they first
we've had
organized.
3 rests since Bryn Shander.
yeah, so we'll say it's somewhere between a week and 3 days. It has not been a long time.
Yeah, it's like it had been kind of a rumor, but it was like officially a quest for 3 days.
Yeah, the quest itself says 3 days ago, and that's just but if you did catch up with the quest, and then in the future things progressed. So yeah, but as far as it matters in between, whether it's 3 days or a week, nothing has changed itself. It's still been a couple of days or so.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah.
Well, quick investigation of the area. Does it look like the kobolds are using this room, or has it just basically been untouched since everyone evacuated? Obviously, someone came through and broke the tools. But...
Yeah, roll me investigation.
Also, the breaking of the tools seems very deliberate to me. It's like I'm not sure if that's something that the kobolds would do, or if the miners are clearly trying to use this to like their political advantage. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like collaboration of like maybe the miners self-sabotaged a little bit.
Yeah.
There even are kobolds, but I can't figure shit out because my rolls are terrible.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
So I guess a question there. Bite, would you like to help, or are you rolling on your own?
I was just rolling on my own because Beta was going to be kind of
I
looking
didn't even
around.
see you rolled there
Because
before
he
him.
has a...
Yeah. So between you both, you look around, and I mean, there's not a lot of airflow in. I mean, there is actually a lot of airflow in here, so things don't settle as much. But it looks to be like that there is not the workstations themselves are not being used, but there does seem to be tracks that lead through here that are a lot fresher than 3 days. So the kobolds seem to be moving through this room, but they aren't using the tables.
Yeah, Beta grew up in a society that has a lot of lore about dragons because Worm Doom Crag.
Yeah.
And so Beta, looking around at all this, he's gonna look at all this and float to the group. Just a thought here, but kobolds are often the minions of dragons, and it would make sense that a dragon would not wish for a dragon who set themselves up in a mine might be satisfied knowing that the wealth lies in the mountain rather than in like a big pile, because who needs that extra work? And so might potentially just be satisfied to have his minions destroy the tools that would remove what it sees as its hoard. Or there may be some small chance we are facing a young dragon of some sort, and obviously an older one would have simply destroyed Tourmaline. Then
I love that he's like, yeah, if it was a big dragon, we wouldn't be getting this quest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But perhaps a young dragon or someone kind of modeling themselves after a dragon. I don't know. It's just a thought, something to keep in mind as we go deeper.
Rita, you're good with tracks and things. Do these look like kobold footprints?
Beta sets his boots to kobold and like takes 2 or 3 like stamps in the ground and then moves them back to his own feet shape and then like compares.
All right, you have like boots that can do
boots of false tracks.
Yeah.
They are kobold tracks, yes. Specifically, they are Icewind Dale kobolds. They have very slight differences in the tracks. That makes them. They're adapted a bit to
he would know
lose
of
less heat out of their feet. Go on. Sorry.
I was just saying that those are really the only time he would be very surprised if he met a normal kobold.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Why are you so skinny?
Like, who the fuck?
You've not been eating."
Yeah.
Obala.
I'm trying to think here. So yes, there are Icewind Dale kobolds that are there.
And does it seem like the foot traffic is mostly out or mostly in? I assume it.
Come and go. It's an equal number that go out that come back in, assuming it's to imply that nobody's left and not come back.
Yeah.
Additionally, you guys
to indicate that this is perhaps the main path that they use to come to and from the town if they're not coming out from here for some smaller purposes and then circling back a different main way. So that is good. It means we're on the right track. Or maybe the wrong track if it leads us into the thick of things and it turns out to be a negative situation.
So the last
Ethan.
thing, sorry, the last thing here is that you guys do find a little figurine with pink pebble-sized tourmalines in its eyes. Sorry, figurine of a small dog.
Hey, that's cool.
Is this like
It looks like a small dog, but it may be something else.
is this like a loot item or
Yes.
a quest item?
It's a loot item. I mean,
Okay.
it could be also a quest item, but it just looks like something that somebody's been whittling and placed in on their own. Nothing of extreme quality, but since Tourmaline is the town of the arts, it makes sense that people there would be interested in art.
Okay.
Sculpting
Does
as
this have a preset gold value that we can just write down, or is it like
yes,
a?
it does. It's 10 gold.
Okay.
And that is almost strictly
Recorded.
based on the cost of the tourmalines in it and not the craftsmanship of the item itself.
Dope. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's actually it's not based on the price of the tourmaline of the item itself. It is based on the price of the item itself. Ignore my previous comment. So yeah, that is all that you guys see in this room, and
I've realized real quick that I'm an idiot and a big fat cheater. Can you adjust my vision down to 15 dim?
oh, it's not 25.
No, because I was doing really dumb math. The orbs only shed 10-foot radius.
Ah.
Yeah, but you can distribute them.
I mean, I can put them out, but I want to keep them close.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough.
For right now, they're only like 5 feet away from me around.
Right. So you haven't been in the area around. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. So, the room that you're in, the drone of the falling water it's right around the corner. You can tell there's wherever that water is coming from, potentially as well this pit. It's right there. There's a lot of echoing going on. Just a very heavy white noise. It reminds you guys a lot of Nomengard.
Vite, did you add that dog into your...
Yes, into my tally in my notes.
Okay, I was going to put it in the slide gear, but you got it. That's good.
Yep.
All right, I'm sliding forward.
All right. So you guys...
Ah, I'm in the wall.
Shift forward a little bit.
And I just want to peek around the corner again.
All right. So
Again, whenever I'm like, just for flavor, like whenever I'm peeking around, whatever orb would be like leading me, usually I hold at the corner.
Right. For the
Just
most
so I
part,
can-
the light is still coming off of you, so it won't go any further than what you're looking for. So still, you can see just around the corner there is a very roughly crafted wooden walkway that kind of
is this
lines
the
the
pit?
edge of this pit, this deep pit. You can tell the water just falls away into nothing.
I think I found the pit, guys.
Yes, it goes down and down and down. A quick cursory glance around the corner. You can't see anybody there. There is another pathway that goes around. At least you assume the plank is going towards another place. You haven't actually seen that. I don't believe you can see that other pathway. It's kind of a bit further out into the dark. But yeah, you're right there at the edge around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I will allow myself a reference that popped into my head the first time you mentioned the pit, there's a hole in the mine. It's a great black pit, and it's full of kobolds who are full of shit. So we need that. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So, Delandra, you're in the lead here. Bitte behind you. Rosemary, are you rounding up the rear, or is Levi in the back?
I think Levi's in the back.
Okay. All right. So as you guys progress, Del, are you popping in?
Yeah, just careful. I think the pit's right up here. Watch your footing. I'm gonna slip.
So yeah, you take a step out, and just to make it easier on you guys, there's the pit.
I'm gonna say, yeah, let Levi shine
There
his
is a
light
pit.
around, because Otherwise, I was gonna float some orbs around just to see
Yeah.
around all the walls.
Yeah.
Is there
Kind of
anything to like the north of us?
to north of you guys.
Like, is it just a wall all the way around? Or
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I'm
I
just
mean,
curious if there's like another tunnel or something that way.
No, there's not another. It does not look like there's another tunnel coming out of it. Although you do see where the river is falling from the other side.
Oh, okay. So presumably the water just comes from the.
It comes from
capybara
the
room.
capybara. You can tell because it's a little bit warmer in here. Although what's coming out from the pit is nothing pleasant. It goes down and down and down and down and down. Do y'all guess where it
I'm
goes?
gonna put an orb down. I've got a range of 120 feet I can move them out to.
Okay.
And while I don't expect to see anything, I'm just gonna float 120 feet down and see if
All right.
is it
so,
just
yes.
darkness or can I see a bottom?
Not a bottom, but let me describe some of what you guys are looking at, what you guys are seeing here. So you're looking down, okay? To describe the room you're in right now, you have wooden planks and stretch that form a walkway along the south end of this pit. That is a seemingly bottomless vertical shaft. A narrow waterfall cascades down the northeastern wall, and the sound of rushing water is quite deafening here in this enclosed space. You have one tunnel that comes off to the southeast. Now, if you look across using any kind of, with your light source, you can see that just down here to the north end, there is another pathway, or another set of walkways about 30 feet down on the north end of that shaft, implying that there are multiple levels to this place. There is also a little opening with no walkway about let's see, it's about 15 or so feet down, and it's just kind of like an opening in the side of the pit that goes off further down. Roll me perception, Del Nadre. Now, as Del Nadre is dropping these lights down, Bitte, Rosemary, what are you guys doing?
I will help with his perception.
Okay.
So I'll just...
'Cause I was
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
say-
cast guidance on him to.
Okay. All right. Well, then now you have advantage, and you can, and you guys are help. So, Bitte, how are you helping in this situation? Are you actively looking as well and just kind of feeding the information to Blake, or are you holding him over so he can so he can hold him down with the pit?
Okay,
I mean, if Dell asks, sure.
From a slightly metagaming perspective, but also in a way that makes sense. How about I'm gonna help Rosemary with a perception check.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Rosemary, can you see anything down there? 'Cause
Rosemary,
Since it's dim light, I
What
should
do
have
my orc
disadvantage.
eyes see?
She would,
Yeah.
in theory, be able to see 60 feet further.
Well, that's why I mean with
yeah.
because the orbs only provide dim light, I would still have disadvantage even, which would be a straight roll with Bite's help.
Right.
So instead, I'm going to use my orbs to assist Rosemary. She's got the better eyes in this situation. So
Okay, that's smart.
knowing that, Dell wouldn't be like, "Step back, Rosemary. Let me see what I can see."
Just staring out in the darkness. All right, so 14 plus your one. Oof. Well, it was enough though. Let me see something.
What do my orc eyes see?
So, what do your orc eyes see?
You
Well,
see it
your-
has dozens of eyes
your
open up,
orc
reflecting
eyes-
the light field.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Your orc eyes see down, down and down. Looking into the pit, you see no end in sight. This is very clearly a pit into the Underdark, and it is not some place that you wish to go. However, you do notice something as you're looking down further into the pit. Of course, as you go down and down, you get to look. Are you kind of? Is Rosemary afraid of heights?
I don't imagine so.
Okay. So then you had no problem looking down through the slats and the walkways, and well, what do you see?
What is that?
That is a kobold. In fact, there
Oh,
are
it is a
two
kobold.
kobolds. They are whistling because it wasn't a sound that you kind of heard throughout the din of the rushing of the water. But when you see them and you can see them whistling, you can kind of pick up on that every now and then, that high pitched little sound, as these two little kobolds are just going about with saws in their hands, weakening the struts that you stand on that support the planks off the side. And it is at that moment you look down that we're going to call him Thwip. Looks up at you, screeches, and is just like tapping his other friend who's like almost like midway. And from what you can tell, you look around, you can see other planks that have been sawed down almost 90% through.
How close are these kobolds below us? Like,
Are
they
right,
a ways down,
they are
or
right
are they
there.
like basically?
No, they're like literally hanging underneath you right now. And
Can
Well,
I
okay, so I
use
guess what I
Sword
mean by
Whip to
that-
pull one of them up on the platform with me?
okay,
Yeah,
so
and would I be able to stab down through the planks and hit one of them, or are they outside of that range?
yes and yes. But let us roll initiative.
Yeah.
And Rosemary, you will be at the top because you were the one who noticed them. So I'm gonna.
Speedy
Okay.
speed boy.
Bute. Okay, good. Rosemary, you rolled a 17.
Dell
and
is
then Levi
always
will go there
prepared
at the
for
end.
violence.
Add turn for Thwip, who will go. Let's see what Thwip will go. Because his first now.
Aw, is he bundled up in like a big furry hooded jacket?
In the picture, yes. But in this situation, no.
Because I just zoomed in enough to see that token, and that's beautiful.
Okay. All right.
So
Is it just one kobold, or there's two?
There are two. One of them's just underneath. I think it's underneath you, Delandre.
Oh, okay. I see
Oh.
him. I'll just slide over here then.
So
do I get a surprise round then because I noticed them?
you will, yes, and they will as well, and then we will go into the regular thing. So Rosemary, do your thing.
All right. I actually would like to wild shape into a use my action to turn into a giant spider.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun.
god, what horror.
All right.
I don't know how to replace me with that, but
Yeah, so we'll
you
just
know.
put get out of here. What is your light, or what is the sight situation on a giant spider?
Man,
Uh, Let me see.
I wish I
Isn't like
understood
blind
the
sight 10 feet,
rollable-
dark sight 30 or
Uh,
60? Isn't that what?
Yeah, blind sight 10 feet, dark vision 60 feet.
Yeah.
I wish I understood the rollable tokens and
'Cause I recently-
like whether or not the players can control them. Because man, those would be awesome for Druid Wild Shapes.
The rollable tokens?
I know there's a feature in Roll20 where you can assign like multiple, like pictures to a token, and you can like
Oh,
roll
and shift
it.
through them? Ooh.
Yeah, like
I
you
don't
can
even know how
roll
you
it to basically be like different forms or something. And I know I've like heard people talk about, like I've read stuff where people talk about how great it is for Druid Wild Shape. But I don't know if it's something that the players can control, even if the DM is able to set that up, or if it's only the DM. I mean, I guess it's not a huge deal. You would just say what you want, and Corey would swap your token to that corresponding animal. But
Yeah,
I have
so
no idea how
it's,
it works.
I have to be a pro user of Roll20 because it's an API script, basically.
Got it.
That would do that.
Okay.
But yes, it's possible. One of my buddies just got pro, and he's been doing a lot of that stuff, and he's just like, it basically says it makes Roll20 50 times better, but it is a pain in the ass to put everything in there. Maybe I'll get to the
Yeah,
point of
sounds
doing
like
that
it.
one day. But okay, sorry, that's not.
Whip and
This
squirt.
has vision. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll use my movement to kind of crawl down underneath the planks and kind of get right next to this boy.
Into the wall. Okay, right there.
As,
So that's the
as
one.
much as I can.
That's the one.
Like I know I'm like in the wall.
There we go. You're right there next to him. We'll just say. Okay, so you used your action your action, right? To be a spider, you go down in there. Squarp is the name of the other one, although they are talking in common, and they're like, Squarp, quickly, kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it, as the whip is like flailing all about, and Squarp, his back to you, is reaching at this moment to kick out one of these things. All right, and so the whip is flailing out. He's kind of he's freaking out so much he's losing his grip a little bit, and he's going to roll a strength check to see if he can hold on, and then he will take his turn.
Get a grip, Thwip.
So, with a roll of a 1, with a crit fail, Thwip trying to adjust himself to get to a point where he can also kick one down, because he's in this process, like in between two things. Maybe he was working on something, but it's not the whatever they're trying to get to. He tries to do it, and he fails. He tumbles, drops 30 feet now. He drops.
Could I use my reaction to catch him?
Ooh. Okay, one. As a giant spider, do you have the web ability?
I do have the web ability.
Okay, so I guess the question
Ranged
here
weapon
is,
attack.
are you trying to catch him with your hands, or are you trying to web him and get him like stuck to the side of the wall down somewhere? How are you trying to catch him?
I wanted for like flavor to catch him with web, which I guess reaction you can do an attack, yeah?
100%, yeah. I mean, you could look at
Okay,
this
so
like,
I can do that.
yeah, in this situation, rule of cool. We'll say you're doing your attack of opportunity against this fallen creature.
Yeah, I would like to try to catch him with the web and maybe stick him against the wall.
All right, good. Roll whatever you would roll for web.
It's a ranged weapon attack with a
yeah.
+5.
Since he's,
so I got.
I guess, and he's unable to dodge. So if you hit, what you do, he is stuck. So
Here, I can copy the thingamajig.
yeah, he's stuck midway through between the second level and the third level, and you see now that there is another pathway or plankway right below you, 30 feet down, Rosemary. In fact, everyone, if you guys look down, would see that there is another one. So you could clearly see the one that's across the way, but there is another plank pathway directly below you. And so Thwip was in the process of tumbling, likely would have just bounced off and fallen further into the Underdark. But you catch him, and he is now like stuck in this webbing, and I'm gonna say to the point like you've just you hit him with a shotgun blast of webbing. He's completely stuck. It's stopped him from being able to really talk at this time, and he's still struggling. He's not happy, and well, he can.
Yeah, this is Spider-Man on the PS2, and he is a restrained criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other one though, he is the problem child. He's right there next to you. He kind of like still has not seen you, okay? But Thwip was telling him to knock it out. So he turns to knock out this plank, or to trip the trap, so to speak, right next to where you are. And he sees this giant fucking spider coming out of nowhere, and he's just like, "Wah! Ah! Ah!" And let's see wisdom to see if he's going to be feared. He is not. He rolls a 15 on that. His training, his kobold training kicks in.
Kobold training.
His kobold training kicks in. Unfortunately, though, it is still kind of like a little bit where you are. So he's going to have to roll a dex check to see if he can kick that thing out. And let's see how he does here with his dex check. In 3, 2, 1. 21.
Well, damn. I'm pretty sure that gets past me.
Yeah. So now he is like all up in your space now, because unknowing to yourself, you were kind of like, when you came down and like crawled and you're like on the wall a little bit, you're like on this, like the pillar that is preventing the thing from falling. Okay. So, but he's able to throw it. He kicks it out, and the first thing you feel, everybody, all of you guys, is the pathway just kind of like jerk down and bow in and start to creak and go. "Rrr." Now Levi's over there at the edge. He sees this and he's just like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" And I'm gonna see. Let's see if Levi has anything in his pack that he might be able to get out there and assist with. And I guess now, Del Nadre, Bitte, you're on there. You're on this pathway. You saw out of nowhere, Rosemary just turns into a spider and goes down below you. You see her now as she's engaging in these two kobolds. One fell down and screamed, and you guys are just kind of like looking in horror as this other one successfully kicks out a plank that is supporting your pathway. Okay, well, Levi does not have any kind of explorer's pack, so his access to rope is severely limited.
Right.
However, he did notice that there was some rope in the processing room that you guys were just in. It's not much, but it's something. And in his wonderful world of insight, he is going to... would you guys like him to run back and grab the rope?
Whatever
We get
you
there
think
and back
he would,
and
yeah, whatever you think he would do.
I guess, like, I mean, like, otherwise, yeah.
you are the DM.
Yeah, Levi's trying to
Honestly,
say...
Levi kind of seems like a rush headlong into things kind of character. I don't see him running off to get help. I see him just like...
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, just like, it doesn't make any sense for him to run back and run away from the danger. Okay, well then he's not going to do that. He's going to hold off, and on his turn, he's going to do his best to try to get you guys to safety. But Del Nadre, Bitte, the plank has fallen. It is now start of the order. You have, at this time, at the end of this round, that plank is gone. But any kind of movement now can make it go at any second.
Okay, so the platform...
So basically, the platform is falling, but if you move, you can make it fall faster. So if you do try to move, it's going to be an acrobatics check to kind of just like run away in a sense that's not going to speed up the process of the pathway falling.
Okay, so...
But
yeah. Levi's on rock. Beta is like close enough. Beta's
you're
like
right.
half on rock. He's got like 1 foot on the rock, 1 foot on the thing.
Yeah, you kind of walked along and was at the other end, and I'd say it's really at this point Del Nadre and Rosemary that are in danger.
Yeah, is there...
Well, I mean,
But-
Rosemary's a spider.
Rosemary's a spider
Yeah,
on
but
that
there
road.
is a pathway about to fall on you.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
worry
how
about...
far below us is the pathway that the kobolds are on? Is that-
30 feet.
So they're 30 feet down, it's just like a 30-foot long support?
No, it's
Oh, no,
supported-
there's another pathway down there, but they're clinging onto the bottom of our pathway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your pathway is basically like those supports were right underneath it. It was good enough to support it and I feel the miners probably didn't put as many people on there, but they have gone and started sawing apart all of these like supports to the point where it was supposed to like collapse a lot quicker.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let me look what Beta has.
At this time, Del Nadre, you're up on the order, and then Beta,
Yeah.
you are next.
I'm gonna fucking drop to a knee, invert my rapier, and stab through the boards and try and hit this guy.
The one that's right there, the Scorp.
Gorp. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Roll to attack. He's definitely within reach.
13.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Not too surprising.
Close.
And
but does
then
not hit.
I'm going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to disengage,
Okay.
which, I feel like trying to move in a way that is a little more careful and dodgy and not hitting things is my intention with disengaging there, but
Okay.
I'm then just gonna try and run off the path past Bite into the tunnel. I'll
All
even go a
right.
little bit
So,
quicker.
would you like to do an acrobatics or athletics check for your run? And I will
You
give
know
you
what? I
advantage
mean,
because you did the disengage.
I think acrobatics.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like you're a strength-based character.
That's a natural 20
Yeah. So like.
for a total of 24.
All right, Del Nadu. So like, describe this like amazing flourish as you just like. We'll say at this point you don't even from whatever you do, you don't take another step on the pathway, but you make your way past Bite in this.
Yeah, like I turn, take like one step, and then kind of like almost wall run the last couple until I'm like next to the path, and then I just kind of leapfrog my way over Bite.
Yeah. You just because Bite, you probably pulled down your hood, right? So it's just your bare head on top.
I grab onto like a stalag tight or something that's hanging from the ceiling and like swing around that to just go like right over Bite's head and land behind him.
Because Bite's so tall and like your roll was just so perfect. It's like one of those like parkour
3-point landing. I
where they
Black Widow
make their
it.
way through the like that little window above a door. Kind of
The transom.
You just like ran right through it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no problem there. Yeah.
Again, yeah, like I do the Black Widow 3-point landing.
Okay, Bite. Unless there's anything else you'd like to do, Del Nadre?
Nope, that's me.
All right. And just to describe real quick for you guys who are out there, Del Nadre, in front of you, there is a bucket lift. A wooden pulley system seems being constructed around a large hole in this room. In the floor. The bucket is big enough to hold a one humanoid when it's held up by a thick rope. And there are a couple of alcoves in this room that contain, just mining equipment and other storage stuff.
That's in this room?
Yeah, in that room that he's in right now.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Bite. Right now, the only person in danger is potentially Rosemary. Granted, she can easily get away, but yeah.
Yeah, I can crawl away, so don't worry about me.
Yeah, okay, so a couple of questions. First off, Bita yells out to Del, "Darn you, the oils on your hands, you just killed this stalactite."
What? It's a rock.
It's a mineral deposits from the moisture coming through the rock. And the oil is disrupted. It's never going to grow anymore. I don't have time for this. And
exactly, priorities, man.
I'm sorry, that thing's been alive longer than fucking civilization, man. Alive, quote unquote. Building. Okay. Sorry,
I'm just gonna knock down
myself
all the rest of the stalactites. Motherfucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Can I borrow that sledgehammer?
Yeah. A sledgehammer would actually be less disruptive.
Yeah, because then it'll grow back.
Yeah. Carson, not
my
Vito,
God,
has
just
spent
go
way
wipe
too much
the oils
time
off. You've
involved
got
with the
so
cave
many
systems of
facts.
South Texas. So Bita is going to, because he's kind of half on. He's going to try and find a good handhold on this wall here.
Mm-hmm.
Here, and once he has that, does it look like so? This one over here wasn't able to successfully kick through his support. Does it look like this side is what's going to fall?
Scorp kicked over. Scorp was one who was successful, and he was in the middle. So it was it's just a domino effect. The middle is falling
Scorp,
out, and so the rest of it will fall out. But Thwip was not able to kick out the one on his side, or else you would have fallen a lot quicker. It probably would not have taken a whole round. It would have happened immediately.
Okay, but so give me a little bit better picture of how they're hanging on to it.
So imagine you have a pathway just flat against the wall, and then you have angled wooden planks or boards or 2x4s that are stuck and secured to a point that is preventing the pathway from falling down, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were sawing in those supports, those angled supports.
I know, but I'm saying, are they like anchored to the wall? Or are they anchored to the
they were like
base of
just
the
holding
supports?
on to those supports.
Okay,
so they are
were
going to fall with us.
They were
100%,
going to
yeah.
fall with.
But their weight is such a small amount comparative to y'all's that even though they were sawing off, they weren't sawing enough through that they couldn't like walk across these planks. But yeah, like they're in between the angled plank and the wall and the platform. They were right there. But Del Madre stabbing through was able to.
Okay, so they're like, let me grab my free hand. So they're like hanging on to the bottom portion, sawing through here, and hoping to hold on to this while this falls over the top of their heads.
Yes and no. They're
suiciders.
Yes. They
okay.
It's not that they're
suiciders. They were just trying to weaken the struts, then leave.
Yes.
We caught them midway through setting up their trap.
Right. So you could consider them being martyrs or heroes trying to then trip the trap so that you guys would die, and if they die, well, then that's just that, for the betterment of the thing. So okay, yeah, man, what is with the crits today? Goodness.
So to be clear, that crit is not for Beta to move off of it.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't.
Beta with his handhold. Beta, he finds a shelf in the side of the rock, and he just fucking stomps the shit out of the walkway to send them both down.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I know I said don't worry about Rosemary, but I didn't think you were literally gonna fucking like drop the thing on her.
Yeah.
I was thinking like this side would fall because I mean it's a pretty. Oh no, that's still paint. It's a pretty small point of contact, so I don't in my head like only this side would fall and not this side.
It was secure enough to a point where it will kind of just drag it. It'll drag the whole thing down, but it will start on Bitte's side and then.
Okay, in that case, Beta hold that until and yell out for Rosemary to get out of the way.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. He does that.
All right, Rosemary, your turn. You're on the wall. You are on the like where you were before, like when you crawled underneath it. To get close enough to like be right there next to the person, you're kind of you're in the struts a little bit. Not that it's an issue at all, but that's just how close you are.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that my rolls today have either been a 19 or higher, or a 7 or lower.
Damn.
What was that for, Rosemary?
That was to see if my web recharges.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So Rosemary hears, Rosie, get out of the way.
Yeah, Rosie's gonna get out of the way. She's going over here.
Right.
And she's gonna go up and around and kind of like grab Levi and pull him back.
Okay. All right. So you get up out of the way and you kick that thing down, Bitte, with all your force. And the plank starts to fall. It falls down. It catches the whip. So Scorp tumbles down. He sees it's happening and he jumps. He is jumping, trying to make a way across the cavern, and he does not make it. He just like jumps out with all of his faith and just dives into the pit, basically. And so
I'm picturing the rat from Ice Age free falling, just.
Yeah, we don't know when Scorp will hit the bottom, or if he'll come back as some demon overlord. But Thwip, who was webbed on the side, is going to get caught down with the falling pathway. And it is going to take him out with it. And Thwip, which was webbed up to the edge there, is now dead. The path that falls on him kills him, crushing his skull or not really crushing his skull. It broke his neck because he was webbed there, and fortunately it just kind of landed right on top of him. So yeah, Bitte, can you scooch back just a little bit?
Rosemary's intention to keep them from falling down to their deaths was not really realized
noble.
there.
It was noble, but they just weren't there to help you. Okay, so you also notice as it falls down, it takes the other pathway with you, or with it. And let me see, what is the strength of a rope? It's 11 AC. Okay, so the rope in the middle snaps, and there was a rope that was attached to the other side of the pathway that's 30 feet down, and that just now hangs dangling down into the pit with the section that is right underneath you taken out as well. Oh, also, as this echo of planks breaking and cracking just, sound throughout all of the mine and the pit itself. For a moment there, just oddly enough, the river was just not as loud.
Drums in the deep.
Yeah.
Rule of a toque.
All right, and so now we have Levi and Rosemary on one side of the pit, Bitte and Del Nadre on the other side of the pit.
Well, fun fact, I'm a spider with a +2 strength modifier now, so I was going to pick up Levi and carry him over.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. I'm not going to make you roll, because God forbid something bad happens.
Oh, God.
But just
It's
describe.
like, sorry, Levi, I dropped you down a pit. You're in the Underdark now.
So funny enough, and I'm gonna spoil this for you guys a little bit. So had you guys at any point wandered into that river that was in that cavern with the capybara, if you would have failed a dexterity saving throw of 10, you would have been swept down the river and dumped into this pit and died. It just says such a fall is fatal, which I guess does lead to the thing of squash.
Beautiful.
Shit.
But yeah, we're just gonna let you guys walk Levi across. No problem. No rolls needed. Don't need the dice to interfere at all. And you guys make your way across. Bum, bum, ba. Bum, bum, ba. Ba, 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 ba. I'm moving Rosemary back to the beginning of the map, by the way.
Okay.
Is there anything in these little alcoves?
Mining equipment. All of it has been rendered relatively unusable. All the wood is what they're destroying, so they're not making the equipment not able to be fixed. It's just they're trying to prevent anybody from coming in and just picking up where they started.
Gotcha.
It doesn't say. I don't know how long I can keep beast shape up, so I'm just a spider for now.
I think it's a number of hours equal to your druid level, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I can be a spider for 3 hours, so I guess y'all are stuck with me now.
It might be a half of a level or something like that, but it should be several hours at least.
I am looking at it right now. Wild shape.
This is a great time to
yeah,
have
number
Rosemary
of
be a
hours
spider.
equal to half your druid
Yeah.
level rounded down.
Okay, so then
So 1 hour, right?
Oh yeah, half your druid level rounded down.
So you can be
So-
1 hour, which should be more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a bucket to lower single creatures.
Who wants to go first?
Beta will go first as the heaviest, because if something bad happens there, then if nothing bad happens there, then everyone else is safe.
Sorry, say that again.
I said Beta will go first, because if nothing bad happens with him, then everyone else is safe.
Gotcha. All right. So,
As the heaviest.
so inside the bucket lift, there is the control is basically just a crank on the side of the pulley system inside the bucket. There is also a crank outside, next to where Levi is currently standing, which is just right there at the entrance to this little bucket lift. So you guys go down. Bitte, do you lower yourself, or do you let them? Or are they lowering you?
Beta lets them lower him.
Okay.
Just because it's a little awkward, him with his big frame trying to manipulate that.
All right.
Rosemary in her spider form is trying to get up on the lever to try to help. She has 8 legs and doesn't know what to do with them. 8 legs and 0 thumbs.
All right, so Bitte, you are able to lower yourself down. Also, Rosemary, I'm going to just delete your other token because it's popping up.
Yeah.
You find yourself in this small little room. The mechanism creaks as you lead the bucket down further into the mine, although that is the least of y'all's worries when it comes to sounds. You descend into a small cave where two dusty tunnels lead in opposite directions, one to the north and one to the south. You can hear the rushing of water coming from the north.
Beta, because of the sound thing, Beta's going to go ahead and light a torch while he waits.
Okay. All right. So
Just
there is
since he's
another
alone.
crank down there at the bottom. Would you like to assist in bringing that bucket back up?
Yeah, Beta will send the bucket
before
back
that
up.
happens, so looking down so the bucket is resting on stone, or is it at another?
It's resting on stone. Yes. There's no.
Okay. Well,
as soon as
it's rested and Levi is off, Dell is gonna just slide down the rope.
All right. It's 15
well.
feet. Fairly easy. You slide all the way down. The oil's on your hands, making it very easy for you to get across.
Wearing gloves. It's cold.
All right.
Rosemary's just gonna climb down the shaft and have Levi lower himself down.
Yeah, I guess Levi's gonna just jump for it because he wouldn't wait. But Levi is just gonna go all in, and he's gonna roll his athletics jump, and it's gonna do not that great as he jumps, and in his attempt to kind of stop himself from taking damage and hurting himself, he kind of lets go of the lantern and it crashes down, clanging, not breaking the glass, but the oil spills out, and there's just a small little fire going on right there in the corner.
Beta picks up the lantern and kind of cuffs Levi on the side of the head, like, be more responsible with your own safety.
Oh, but we just made so much noise. I just wanted to make sure we were going at this at a quick pace. I mean, what if something tried to come up there and attack you guys while you guys were bringing the bucket back up?
And what if something tries to attack us while the lantern is broken?
Well,
To be fair, these guys went off with a mission to set up a bridge collapse trap. People hearing the sound of a bridge collapsing, they might just assume that the two of them kind of screwed things up.
yeah, but they might have sent a person over there to inspect, right?
Where they would still just find two dead kobolds and a collapsed bridge.
But they probably would have to come through here, right? I mean, this is the only way up.
That we know of. It's fine. I'm gonna jump over this fire.
Okay. So ahead of you, Del Nadre.
Swoosh, into the corner, because corners are cool.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, I want to make sure you were emitting just a little bit of light. There we go. All right. And can everyone see the spider?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
For a second there, I just could not see the spider on the stream channel.
Oh, wow.
I was like, where is the spider? Anyways, so right ahead of you, a hole in the western side of this chamber. You open up, and the sound of the waterfall is once again deafening inside here. The floor of this of the north end of the cave is 5 feet higher, very similar to the structure that you saw in the entrance to the cave, where there's a little raised pathway going along the edge, the rocky ridge that separates them with a slope to the left or the right, and the walls above the slope gleam with just as much sparkle as they did before. The lights from the fire creating this wonderment of gleams that bounce around, and this room has a bit taller of a ceiling. Now, Bitte, were you putting out the fire that kind of like was on the ground, or is it still on?
It's an oil fire on plain rock. I don't think he feels any need to put it out.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere.
What if
Alright.
there's gases in the cave?
He does pick up the lantern and hand it off to Levi so it doesn't burn up all the oil.
Okay, so it's a relatively small fire. Now we speak about it. Levi once again has the lantern again, and so the light that's casting into the fluttering of lights was only for a moment, and it's now kind of died down. It's back to this just darkness in here.
Also, Rosemary can't talk because she's a spider.
Oh yes.
So
Beta
looking
can talk
around-
to Rosemary because she's a spider.
She's so excited that you can talk to her when she's a spider.
I mean, can't everybody talk to you? Like, as a spider, can
Yeah,
you not still
I
like
can-
understand?
Yeah,
I
she
can
has-
understand other people, but my speech abilities are limited to the creature that I am, and I
Gotcha, so
don't
you
think
just
spiders can
chitter.
talk.
Yeah. Just chittering.
So does the room empty?
Chittering.
I'm gonna send an orb up and check the ceiling, see if there's like any creepy crawlies hanging up there.
Rosemary goes
So-
on the ceiling to be a
All right,
creepy crawly up there.
Del Nadre, place where you are. Where are you? Right there. I can't.
Yeah,
You
I'm
still have your
I'm
lights, right?
peeking around the corner, like so I just threw myself into that nook.
Gotcha.
but-
Okay, and so you're peeking around the corner. So you send your little glowy thingies up there. Now off to the left side, and I'll just put a little light.
I mean, I'll
there.
put my token here so I can kind of see, but just implied that I'm not just standing in the open doorway. I will
Right,
be
right. There you
against the wall as much
Okay,
as I could
this should
see.
be good. What is happening? Why is it not? There we go. Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But
So,
they're just the orbs are just 10 feet of dim light.
all right, 10 feet.
Yeah, just for.
And so you send it up into the sky.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of be moving it around and see if there's like anything up there
Mm-hmm.
since the ceiling is much higher.
Yeah. Orb just goes up and up and up, very slowly, very surely up into the sky. And you catch the glimpse of something.
Mm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's dangling down. These little tentacles ending in a barb. You freeze as it goes. The orb goes like higher and higher until it all of a sudden reveals the creature that lurks in the top. This beaked brain, Grell, just starts rushing at you as it's been discovered, just screeching as it goes. Now, Rosemary, are you right there on the wall? Or are you right there next to Del?
It's gonna be like on the wall over here.
All right, so it just starts. It's rushing at you, Del. You have a reaction, and then it has a surprise round before we begin. So this flying brain is rushing at you.
I mean, when you
Does
say
it have a surprise
reaction-
round if like we shine a light on it and then it attacks?
But it did kind of rush
Yeah.
us.
It's,
I was-
it's the
I was
moment of,
looking
like, it's
for threats.
attacking
I was-
as you are shining, as your light is coming on.
It did a jump scare.
I guess I thought I'd really consider it a surprise round, but it's going to have an action before anyone besides Dale has an action. Let's go with that.
Okay.
So
when
there's
you
not
say
like
I
any
have
surprise.
a reaction, are you saying I have an action?
Yeah,
that I can
you
only
like how are
quickly-
you going to react to this thing coming at you?
I'm gonna throw a dagger at it.
Okay, so yeah,
I feel like
you
that's one of the things I
been-
could just quickly just grab and
right because dancing lights to move them around is not an action, right? That's just a bonus action.
It's a bonus action to
Okay,
move light.
so good. All right, so then yeah, you
But
would
actually, let me double check that. But I'm pretty sure it is.
because that would change.
Yeah,
it.
as a bonus action
Okay,
on your turn, you can
then
move
that
the
works.
lights.
So yeah, chunk a dagger at it as it's rushing towards you. These ceilings in here are about 15 to 18 feet high, but it's flying
Okay,
at
so
you.
it should be within my
Yeah, it's within-
20-foot thrown range, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shoop.
That hits. All right, a dagger pierces into the front of its its bulbous brain matter, and it just kind of screeches as it flies down, but it's still coming at you. and it's going to try to attack you with its tentacles. Sorry, I need to stop. It rolls a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So I need you to make a. Let's see. So it rushes forward and its tentacles wrap around you. All right. And so it's going to need you to make a DC Constitution saving throw, as its tentacle kind of like bite into your skin, trying to find any little. Its tentacles are hunting for any kind of exposed skin, and it's going to like rub them across you. Good save. Good save. You are not paralyzed, but you are grappled, and it's going to use the rest of its 15 feet of movement to try to drag you towards the entrance over here. And that will.
I can only move half
half,
speed if it's grappling.
Then it will move. Let's see, we'll just put it there then. It's in the process of moving over there. So it's 15 feet for it to get to you, half of it to get away. It's there, and it's grappling you, and it is trying to run away. And Rosemary, you get an attack opportunity here, and then we will roll our initiative.
Would my web recharge during like a down period?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yes, if you imagine every 6 seconds you're rolling again.
Yeah, and it's on a 5 or a 6, so it has like a 1/3 chance.
Yeah, I mean, you could roll 10 times, I guess, if you really wanted to, but I'm just going to say yes, it's recharged.
Okay, I'm going to try to hit it with the web and restrain it.
Okay, now, are you trying to restrain the Grail, or are you trying to restrain Del Nadre?
I'm trying to restrain the Grell so it stops dragging Del Nadre.
Okay. Alright.
And that Del Nadre can get away. So that's ranged with +5. So that's 18 + 5.
That hits.
Yeah. It is now restrained by webbing. As an action, it can make a DC 12 strength check to burst the webbing on a success. Also, it being wrapped in webbing makes it vulnerable to fire damage.
Yes. Okay, let's see. And I think for restraining something that can hover, does it hover or does it start to fall?
If it has hover, it does not fall.
Okay, so
if it's got a flight speed without hover, then it would fall.
Okay, so at this time it's wrapped up. Okay. It's still flying in the air, but it's not not that it's like it's hovering in the air, but it's not moving because it's trying to get out. Putting more into the fact. Also, your webbing was just so much, it's like grabbed onto stalactites that are in the area, and it's stuck where it is, but it's still in the air, which is to say it's about 10 feet hovering above Del Nadre with its tentacles attached.
Okay.
You can still hit it, but the body of the grill is floating up, and the tentacles are what are in like Del Nadre's space. Because the way it would drag is basically just to drag Del Nadre underneath it. Let's roll initiative and get this kicked off again. 15 for the Grail.
Actually, my initiative is 1 more because the spider has a +3.
Nice. And Levi gets a 16. Okay, so it's looking like Levi, then the Grell, then Bitte, then Animal, then Del Nadre. Just this random spider that's going to assist us in this situation. And this is actually a pretty good way of like the initiative. I think has helped a lot. Although I don't know why Levi is the one who's going to react, but
because he fucking loves me.
Yeah, it's true.
He sees his best boy get yoinked off into the darkness.
Yeah. So where he is, because he was in the back, shading.
I didn't take damage from the tentacles, did I?
Oh, yes, you did. My bad. The attack for that is, where did I just close out of that sheet? Sorry, 1d10 plus 2. 9 damage.
Okay.
9 piercing damage, if that makes any difference. But you did survive. You
And
did succeed on the tentacle, on
the
the
second
poison.
Constitution save for my concentration check. Oof. Drops the dancing lights drop.
Okay. Let me adjust that on your character real quick. Okay. So yeah, the dancing lights just like pop out, leaving this room in more darkness. Although, of course, Bitte is, or Levi is.
My solo torchy boy is gone too.
Oh yeah, that's gone. Thank you. So yeah, Grell there. Okay, so Levi. We've already established that Levi is very heads on. He 100% would have just dropped that hooded lantern. So we're just gonna give him a. We'll assume it's still just back there, but I'm not gonna move it off his character for now. Drops the hooded lantern, rips off his sword, and just rushes in to attack this Grell. And so we are going to. Sorry, did I move Bitte instead of Levi?
Mm-hmm.
My bad. And so Levi is just going to run in, and he's going to attempt to cut off the tentacles, okay? So I'm going to do a great sword attack at disadvantage with the option of him trying to slice the tentacles through to undo the grapple on Dale. Sound good?
Wait, if it's restrained, would he get advantage?
So then it would just be a basic, so it'll just counteract that. So it'll just be a normal attack then.
So.
Yeah. All attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Yes. And he has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. All right, so here we go. Slice. Not good. He does not hit. He cut through some webbing. It's not going to help the Grell at all, but he's not able to cut enough tentacles or any of the tentacles at all to help save Del Nadre, as he was just trying to wing it a little bit and just kind of missed there. And I don't believe Del Nadre or Levi has an additional attack at all.
He can rage, though.
He can rage. Now, do you think he would have... Is this a level-headed situation, or is this a rage situation?
I think he might rage.
I think he would have raged.
Okay. All right. Definitely rage. Okay.
Not that it helps that attack, but he probably would have raged beforehand.
It does rage, and let's see. So he's raged now, and with that, he's going to action surge as well, because in his rage, he's frustrated that he missed, and so he's going to try again with another attack. Now this one raging. 25 hits for 10 plus 2 damage to the Grell. And we're going to say that he is successful in cutting enough tentacles off so that Del Nadre, you do not have to roll to be ungrappled.
Nice.
All right. And it's the Grell's turn. All right, the Grell is not happy, and it's going to turn and attack Levi now. Same thing. It's oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's not, because it's restrained by your web. What's the DC roll to get out of your web?
DC 12, but it has to use its action to do it.
It has to use its action to do it. Okay. Well, the Grell is just going to do that then, because.
Oh wait, it can attack, but
yeah,
its attack rolls have disadvantage.
Right. It's intelligent enough that it knows that there's no point to waste its time attacking when it's caught up on this, because it's most likely going to miss. It needs to deal with this and get itself safe because it was discovered.
Yeah,
So-
it needs a DC 12 strength check to break the webbing.
All right. It does not. It is kind of just like getting around, cannot get out of here. And it's kind of just stuck there. Now it's hovering and it's restrained and it cannot move.
Maybe it's like there are some threads sticking it to the ground, but it's still kind of
I would say
floating.
at this point, actually, there's threads that are sticking it to the stalactites in the ceiling. So that's where it's like caught. It's still caught up in its
Yeah.
little thing. So it's just
Like an
stuck.
actual spider web.
Yeah. So it's stuck up there. It uses action to do anything. It literally can do nothing else because it cannot
I
take
love
any.
being a spider.
Has no bonus actions here. So Bitte, you have a Just a grill right for the man.
Man, does the giant spider webbing not get the cool burning thing that the actual web spell does?
It does.
It
is
just has vulnerability to fire damage, because the actual web spell says webs are flammable. Any 5-foot cube of web exposed to fire burns away in 1 round, dealing 2d4 fire damage to any creature that starts its turn in the fire.
I mean, I imagine it would work the same.
Yeah,
It would burn away It would burn away the web.
Yeah, I was just checking to see that.
Yeah, we can say it functions the exact same way as the web spell.
Nice.
Okay, so Bitte, you are up. You are also muted.
God damn it! I've been talking for a while.
Oh,
I was surprised when you didn't say anything about the webbing to the stalactites.
Oh yeah, I got plenty to say. First off, Beta has a torch.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're lighting it.
yeah, so because I've only got like the 5-foot dim currently.
What is your torch? Is what 1550? No, torch is 20.
2020, I think.
Yeah, 2020 for a torch.
Gotcha. All right, you have a torch now.
Dope.
Let's see.
That is so much nicer.
I can see. I can fight.
Yeah, so first Beta is going to run over here on the other side of Levi, and bonus action to use his planar warrior ability. And important question, is this Grell considered a monstrosity or an aberration?
Is that something Bitte is asking, or is that something mechanically that you needed?
That's something mechanically important.
It is. So I guess question: are you asking if it was an aberration?
Okay. Because of my favorite enemy is monstrosities, which we've yet to face.
I know, right? So this Grell is an aberration, and given your sensitivity to planar, although I don't know if the Underdark is a plane, is it? It's not, is it?
No, but the Far Realms are, and that's where most aberrations come from.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, it is. You have that planar sense to it.
Okay. So Beta strikes it for a total of 9 damage.
Yeah. 9
force damage.
That hurts it. It's still doing strong. Still going up there. But it's starting to. Its brain matter has starting to bleed, and it's dyeing some of the webbing a sickly green color, because that's what gross blood is now.
And Beta uses the rest of his movement to get there, so he's not in anyone's way.
Okay. Do you run around the side of it, or do you run...
yeah, he ran around this little shelf.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So, next up is Rosemary, or Animal.
Or actually, would he be able to... Because it's 10 feet up in the air, would he be able to just run underneath it?
I mean, it's no, because it's running underneath it would put you in its attack opportunity.
I know, but why would
it
I
also
get?
has hanging tentacles down there
for running into its space, right?
What'd you say?
Would I get an attack of opportunity for running into its space?
Running underneath it is running directly into its tentacles that are hanging down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Okay.
So it's like if you run into somebody's sword, you're...
Yeah, it's kind of like that situation. Yeah, it's like... Because where you are right now, Bitte, from where it is that...
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no. It's better if where you are... Now, you can still get to that part, but if you did... I would say just... Given the way it's been described, rubbing underneath it would incur an attack, or at least a brush up against its tentacle.
In that case, Beta will just go here so that he can get an attack of opportunity if it tries to move away with Dell.
Gotcha. Okay. It's not grappled. Dell is not grappled at the time anymore.
Nice.
Levi
Okay.
was successful in cutting off the tentacles there. So there are some tentacles
Nice.
just bleeding. And it was enough that Dell
Alright.
will just be able to go. Yeah, so.
That will end my turn.
Okay, so no web recharge for Rosemary, it seems.
Yeah, the web does not recharge, but I'm still going to come over. Is it still restrained?
Yes, it is still restrained, so attacks against it have advantage.
Okay, so I'm going to do a bite. So it's an advantage that's 2d20 plus 5. So does a 16 hit it?
A 16 will hit it, yes.
Okay, so it's 1d8 plus 3. So
Okay.
that 6 plus 3 is 9 damage.
9, okay.
And it needs to make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Or become poisoned.
Yeah.
Ugh. Make it even harder. It does. It rolls a 19, 21.
Okay, cool.
A 19 and a 21. Not almost 2,000.
Okay.
Just casually rolls its D1000. Yeah, I think it hit above a 15.
Also, I am realizing something, that a giant spider is different than a giant wolf spider, so I might have been cheating a little bit.
Oh. Is a giant
I'm
spider
so
is a challenge rating of 1.
It is a challenge rating of 1, which I don't think I have yet.
Not unless you're a circle. So yeah, a giant wolf spider is what you're thinking of, huh?
I'm so sorry, and
And you
I
have
will.
no web.
I don't have web.
Okay.
I just remembered, like, oh, I was a giant spider, right? So I just googled giant spider. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I was, I guess.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
Let's change this up a little bit. Okay. So, the Grell would not, Levi still was successful in chopping it off.
It just ran into some spider webs that were already there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could just retcon some stuff, or just like keep
You know what?
going if we want.
No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna retcon the web stopping it, and the Grell escapes, or at least runs away. So, Bitte, you came after the Grell. Levi, Dell. Okay, Levi and Dell make some like swings at the Grell. Is it just, like it was already trying to run away, but now without a webbing, I gonna help it along. Oh, I'm sorry. I control Levi.
So I can hit it even though it's like 10 feet up, or
You can't, because you basically are attacking its tentacles. So think of it as like
Okay.
its body is up and its tentacles are draping down. It just that's like its hover
16.
little thing. Yep, that hits. Levi,
and do I get sneak attack?
15.
Because at that point Rosemary wasn't there, so I don't have an ally within 5 feet, right?
When it's running away, Levi was there though.
Okay.
Levi
Okay,
is
that'll
next
count?
to you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so I guess so. If you get sneak attack with an ally being within 5 feet of the enemy as well, then yes. But if you're trying
Yeah,
to
it just
get
has,
it because
and even less specifically, it just has to be an enemy of that enemy. So
gotcha.
not
Okay,
necessarily even the
gotcha.
ally,
Yeah. So
but-
like you're not getting advantage from Rosemary because yes, she would have been back here, but in the time Levi is nearby. So 8 plus 10 is 18. Let's see what was.
Also, I'm very sorry, but also in my defense, you wouldn't think that a giant spider is like more tough than a giant wolf spider.
All right. Okay. So, whew. Bitte, you threw a javelin or a hand axe,
Javelin.
and you threw it.
Yes.
Okay. So you still get your turn. The Grell tries to run away. Its attack of opportunities. They keep chopping off more and more of its tentacles, so it's just free bleeding down. It gets to the edge, and Bitte, you are not letting it go. You chunk your javelin. It catches it in the back of its skull, splitting open the brain matter, and then the Grell just stops. It's right here. It's falling. Its body just loses everything that keeps it up, and it just like tumbles, hits the edge, and just right off the edge.
I will mark off one javelin from my inventory.
Yeah. Well, that So you did not have web, but the attacks opportunities as it tried to run away and murder it a lot faster than
Yeah,
it had
if only we'd had web. So
Cheating never pays, kids.
Because like it would have just, I mean, it probably would have attacked, you know, if it was still there with all of you guys around it. But in that moment, it was like, no, I'm gonna fucking get out of here. But of course, got
Free
here.
attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. And even if it was out, you know, Bitty would have just ran up and still attacked it as it was rushing away, you know? So that's why I kept
Yeah.
Bitty's
Oh, yeah.
attack. And,
oh no! Also, my dagger.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you guys have ranged ability. It's not like it would have been able to really run away.
No, I'm saying I lost my dagger because he
Oh,
went off with
yeah.
it, unless it got dislodged at any point.
Is this like a specialty dagger or is it just a dagger?
No, it's just a dagger.
Then no, that dagger is gone.
No.
That dagger is dead. And that Grell is dead as well. So yeah. There goes one of the hidden
I guess it also doesn't matter because the kobolds died anyway, so it didn't, like me attempting to save that one was just completely bust
Yeah, I know.
anyway.
So instead of him being webbed to the wall and then crushed to death, he just hit the walkway and bounced off.
He did.
Yeah.
He
We're both in the Underdark.
He 100%.
He falls like the Emperor in Star Wars down the toll.
Yeah. Exactly, just bouncing left and right as it just goes all the way down until you can't see it anymore. But yeah, whereas Scorp actually like screamed his way down, Thwip died the second he hit that second pathway, and his body just limply fell down
Damn.
the way, because they cannot survive a 30-foot fall. Because what 30 foot is 2d6,
Damn.
1d6.
And they only have 2 HP.
So yeah, 9 would have been just enough to kill them. Kill that one. Anyways, so yeah, okay, Grell is dead.
Beta puts its forearms in an X and its palms out straight, and then kind of smacks against the top of his thighs.
Yeah.
Did you have like a war cry? Like a haka?
No, I was just being funny, like the little like suck it thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Alright, you said it and I had a hard time visualizing it.
Yeah,
so I
no.
was like,
As
what is it?
I was explaining, I was like, this doesn't feel like it's a good explanation of the thing. This just sounds strange.
So
Okay, is there anything over here?
upon a further explanation, no, this room looks to be a lot more dug out than the rest of them, and the quality of the gems and the number of gems and just the way they sparkle are a lot better. In fact, you believe if you were to spend about an hour, you could probably come out with some gems in your hand if you took some time in this room. A lot quicker and a lot more efficient than if you tried to do anything with the first room.
Damn.
That sounds like a good idea. Do y'all want to?
Take a short rest.
Yeah.
All right, take a rest, and Beta begins fucking mining.
All right. So 1 hour on the clock. There is a steady dink, dink, dink coming from this room. Throughout that hour, you do not hear anybody approaching.
Levi, do a favor and keep watch down the corridor.
Yeah. Levi stands like right here, kind of like his hooded lantern like slightly off to the edge so he can't see, so it's not letting in, but he has a view of the bucket. As you guys
There is also, if we wanted to keep moving for now while Rosemary is still a spider, we could do that.
It's okay, I have another wild shape that I can use later.
yeah, so
Okay.
then at the end
I
of
could
that,
benefit from a short rest. Got knocked down quite a bit by those tentacles.
yeah. Yes, you use any health potions you need to use, and
Health potions.
hit-
What is
health potion-
that?
hit dice as well, and then Bitte, I need you to roll me a D100 as we consult the mining discoveries table. 17. You come across, or you come out with a bunch of little dust. You are unable to get anything suitable. You have a lot of shards, but nothing in the, like, they have like cracks through them. They are so flawed that you know that they wouldn't be worth anything, but maybe to decorate like a piece of candy or something.
powdered gems are,
They are spell
as I
components.
noticed Bite looking a little disappointed with his, it's just like, well, I mean, powdered gems are still a spell component, so
This
there
is
might be a
true.
magic shop that would.
But not very
you
many
could sell that
spells
too.
utilize powdered tourmalines.
There's a lot that just say powdered gemstone. I think like diamonds are obviously the best. But
Right,
I think
right.
I think
If-
you can just use powdered gem.
If
or some-
Rosemary didn't lose any health, she doesn't necessarily need to.
I did get bit by a
Rest.
capybara, so I do need my.
She did take
okay,
some
yeah.
damage. Yeah.
I took 5 points of damage and just got 5 back, so I think Rosemary's gonna like be chilling on the wall, like 5 feet up, next to you, and then at some point during the long rest, she's just gonna like pop out, or like her spider form's just gonna dissipate, and she's gonna like, pop and sit on the floor.
So
Could Spider Rosemary help with that?
I was gonna say, like, is it possible that Spider Rosemary could like crawl up and like look for some like better spots and kind of use her vantage point?
If you were to, okay, so if that's what you do, moving around with your 8 eyes, I'll let you have 2 rolls in this 1 hour. But your powdered gemstones are worth so little, and I looked up all spells that require gemstones, and the least spell that requires gemstones of no specificity is 25 gold pieces. So yes, you can hold it on. Consider it worth 1 silver if you wish. But in terms of like actual worth, there really isn't anything unless you combine it.
I mean, Beta doesn't want any of these gems for like monetary value anyway.
Oh, okay.
So Beta,
then yeah,
so
you have some
Beta-
powdered gemstone.
yeah, okay. Let me go ahead and add that to my inventory.
And we'll just say it
but
has
Side note:
with 0 worth or 1 silver worth.
I'm just testing something real quick. This second hit dice roll, if there's one, is not actual. I'm not using a hit dice.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see what this does.
All right.
And then Bite gets a second roll, yes?
Gets a second D100
Oh.
roll.
All right.
Oh, it
So
doesn't
Beta
even-
puts the not monetary powder in 1 sack and moves on to do more mining
Woohoo!
for a 97.
All right. This time you are able to get out an acorn-sized tourmaline. This one does have a bit of a crack that runs through it. It's a smoky pink tourmaline.
Hmm.
Smoky pink tourmaline.
Size of an acorn.
Acorn-sized flawed. Worth 10 gold pieces.
Nice.
So I can let you know you hit on the second to the highest roll for these tourmalines.
Nice. What was the highest? Out of
100.
curiosity.
You have to
I
crit.
know what the highest roll was.
Oh, no, yeah. But like you crit to get 100 gold pieces.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. That's a pretty substantial exponential jump there.
It is.
Yeah.
How much does this tourmaline weigh, being acorn-sized?
The weight, about as much of an acorn.
And that is not a lot of your 30 pounds. You're going to be able to get a lot of those.
I guess yeah. So this room itself specifically has this is not the one I was looking at. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I would say he gets an acorn-sized tourmaline, but at the same time, you see it there, but it's still in a rock. We'll say it's taken up half a pound of rock. Now you can take it to the processing and cut more of that out with hammering it, or you can do it here, but you'd be like pretty much just hammering it against the ground. There would be no like grip for it, like equipment you have back there.
Yeah, whenever we end up doing like our actual resting before we like leave,
Yeah,
Um,
I always assumed
then
you would
he'll
come
go
back
through
to the
and
mine
try
to
and do
claim
shit
your
like
30
that.
gold or your 30 pounds. Bitte's like, okay, we have a 10-day to wait here. All right, I'm going into the mine, and nobody else is allowed in here. And he comes
Okay,
It's
out.
like,
so let
we
me-
do need to remember that Levi has like a fucking alien in his chest that has a time limit.
Bitte spends 30 days here.
Okay, so I'll say he's probably got the dust was probably about a half pound as well, so he's got 1 of his 30 pounds.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're talking about it in terms of like what you're worth, but that's not in the terms of like what you have there. All right.
Mhm.
So, Delnadra, you were resting. Rosemary, you were assisting, and you guys came out with some things of worth.
And just as a once we start moving again, I'll be having my orbs back up if you want to go ahead and.
I already did. You have light again.
Oh,
You should
oh,
at
okay,
least.
cool. Yeah, I
Um,
couldn't tell because I'm in all of this bright light. So
Let's see. And Levi perceives a couple of times. Let's go 2. For a 7 and then a 17. We'll take a advantage. He was basically just focusing on that. So a 16 to 21. So Levi has some things to report. As you guys kind of like start getting ready, and he hears the end of the tinking, and he just you guys regroup again, and he just brings up with the group. I think there's some kobolds just around the corner. I heard some scuffling and some they're talking in common. It's kind of weird, but they mentioned somebody named Trex. I don't know who that is. It sounds like a leader, but they kind of just they heard the noise. I think, but they haven't come down here. It's very odd.
He said they heard the noise, but they didn't come here.
Yes, he thinks they heard the noise based on what he could pick up from them talking.
Okay.
So just the general caution moving forward, as they might be prepared for us now.
Okay.
But if they were going to investigate the 2 kobolds falling, they I guess they would have probably actually just, if they're further down in the tavern or cavern, the better assumption is that they just went to that pathway and looked up.
So are we over here? Are we on the level of those second walkways, or are those even further
Those
down?
are still 15 feet down. There is not one
Okay.
to the south, and there is one to the north. Which I guess is to say that with you sitting there on the edge, you did not notice anybody come out onto those pathways during the time.
Yeah, I mean during the rest, I would say I'd be floating some orbs around the cavern,
Right.
so that I can see in there better. But
Yeah, you would have seen what is down there, which is just
another walkway.
Another walkway on the north end side. There are 4 different little alcoves or pathways that lead out of the level below you. But there's not another pathway out from where you are, so you have to assume that there's another way to get down.
Yeah, so pathway on the north side, nothing below, directly below this hole that we're standing at.
Nothing at all. No. And from where you are, it is about a 15-foot jump across 15 feet to get to the second pathway, or the pathway that is still there.
Okay. Well, I'm not interested in that, but
Beta, when they're getting ready to go, is going to take the torch that he's had, and he's going to kind of stand it up, stick it in the ground, and then I was gonna say he'll take one of the cut grell tentacles and try and rig it so that waves slightly in front of it to make it look like there's motion or people still in there before we head off. But that seems like too much work, so he's just gonna leave the fire in there, and it's gonna dance and sputter as it naturally does.
Well, I think with all that random webbing around,
Oh my god.
no, I definitely think if you had hung the grell, I don't know about it moving around. Maybe just there is air rushing from the water falling into that pit. Maybe it would jangle a little bit, but you could definitely have the shadow of a grell's tentacle hang down in front of that torch. Using the cut off tentacles that are on the ground there.
Yeah, so he'll do that, and then tell Dell that he should stick to the dancing lights for a bit, and keep the lantern hooded and try and go stealthily, I imagine.
Dell flashes a thumbs up.
All right. So turning off the hooded lantern.
Yeah, closing it down and having Levi stand at the back,
Okay.
I guess.
It has been.
So
closed.
are we wrapping up at 2:30?
We are pretty much going to wrap up, yeah, in just about 7 minutes.
Okay.
Or so.
I just wanted to make sure, so we don't get into anything we can't finish.
Yeah.
Okay, let's rush forward, start a combat, and then end
Honestly,
all
with
the
the way
combat.
these combats have gone, you probably could finish it in 6 minutes. So yeah, you guys make your way back to the bucket chamber, and whoever has sight or some light, because Del Nadra, you'd be the first person. Are you in the lead?
Yeah.
If you are going stealthily, roll me some stealth checks.
Oh, also, are you fully healed up for the short rest? Because if not, I have some good berries.
I'm down just a couple hit points.
How many?
3.
I'll give you 3 good berries.
All right.
Chomp.
I have 5 left.
All right. Levi has a 10 stealth, so he is no effect. Del Nadre, of course, doing well. Carson on the good side. Let's see how Rosemary is going to roll here. What are their average
I rolled
going
a
to be?
13.
All right, we're above 10. So we are probably just right around 13 in the end. So yeah, you guys kind of sneak on down. Del Nadre, I guess, lead the way, or whomever wants to lead the way.
So which direction did Levi hear the kobold voices in? Does he know if it was left or right?
They felt like they were coming a bit further down. I guess you can get up to the corner. He wasn't sure because he wasn't looking down this. He was trying to avoid sending his light down there, so he knows it came from this. If you come up to the corner, you would notice that the pathway to the south
that's a dead end. Okay.
In a little,
I'm gonna bet it's probably
vein.
to the right then.
Yeah. Do you want to roll perception to see if you can kind of listen on anything?
Sure. That seems like the smart thing to do.
All right.
Decent 17.
So you hear the chattering of those capybaras in this room on top of
all the
some,
way down here.
On top of some more kobolds that are kind of they're like hushed a little bit. They're like, are they gonna? You can't hear everything, but you hear them every now and then. So you can't make out what they're saying, but you can tell there are at least 2 kobolds in this upcoming room.
I'm going to kind of inch my way forward, looking for the room. Oh, okay, I think this is it.
All right, you come up on the edge of the room now. You've been sneaking. You've ducked around the corner. You've not yet looked into the room itself, but you've already kind of seen the body of the giant capybara.
Yeah,
this
once
one,
again,
you can
always
tell,
pressed up against the walls and just kind of
yes,
peeking around a little bit.
All right, so now, do you want
trying to huddle my lights in this alcove with me?
Yeah. Do you want to try to make a more? You want to really stick your head around this corner?
Yeah, I'll go for enough of a peek where I can try and get an eye of the room.
Okay. Roll me a stealth with advantage as you try to peek around here for this specific act. Okay. Yeah, no
25.
problem. You're able to like duck around and get back and come in, and what you see is two kobolds have secured themselves, almost like they flipped up a table. This room used to be what looks to be like a dining room. They flipped the table on the side. All of the cutlery and plates and stuff were, what looked to be probably were smashed a little bit, or at least they look a lot more beaten up than just being flipped onto the floor. And behind the table, there are 2 kobolds that are staring out. But when you ducked around the corner, they were looking at each other, their javelins just resting on the top of the table, ready to go. The capybara is off to the side, chained up against the wall. It is chittering it's like aggressive at the kobolds, but it's not moving forward, and it's not prevented from moving forward by the chain. There is still some slack there, but it just looks kind of just aggressive in general.
glance back at the
Okay.
party.
Is
I'm
it
gonna hold
within
up-
range to attack the kobolds, or?
I mean, from what Dale can assume, it has the range to attack, but it's not. It's on the other side of the flipped over table that they are on, that they're behind.
Okay. Okay.
They're protected by the table.
Yeah, and at the same time, the Cavalry is not actively attacking. It's just like how it was before. It has an aggressive stance. It's territorial.
It's being territorial.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm
Another male
gonna
capybara.
glance back to the party, hold up 2 fingers, do like T-Rex arms, and then thumb over my shoulder, hands together like a wall, and I'm gonna crouch by, like put like in front of my face, like I'm peeking over. Then 1 finger, do like little like buck teeth and then hold my neck like I've got like a collar on.
Choking a capybara?
I think he's constipated.
Did you eat something weird?
Just those
Like, do we
big
need
bears.
do it? There's a big pit. If you're careful, you can go over there. Work for your purposes.
All right, so Del Nandre, with
Yeah.
your with your description delivered to the party, how do you react to the situation ahead of you?
So the capybara is chained, like chained. It's a metal chain, or
Yes, it has a collar and a chain. The chain has slack. It is rolled up on the ground. It is territorial, almost like it's defending that other pathway over there, and it's chained onto the wall in this little section back here, right around the corner from what you can see. So you kind of just see it going off. You assume that it's chained to the wall. You actually cannot see exactly where it is chained, if it is.
okay, well, at risk of trying not to start too much with the end of the session,
Yeah.
1 minute ago, I'm going to not concentration, is it? No. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion
Okay.
down as far down that hallway as I can see,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make the sound of a kobold voice shout "Help!" in common.
All right. So
Help me!
you throw your magic illusion across. It echoes down that hallway behind the capybara, who whirls its back now, turning around, and you kind of just catch off the top. What? Who do you think that is? I don't know. Should we check it out? I don't know. Who do you think it could be? It could be Will. No, probably not Will. Will's come on, Greg. It's definitely not Will. Will's too cool for that. Yeah, you're right.
It's Will! Help me!
Oh shit, it is Will. Okay. You stay here then. And one of the kobolds is going to like pull a lever that's going to yank this capybara back. When it pulls a lever with the sound that's happening, you can see there's actually a pulley system that runs the chain up the wall, across the ceiling, and back into this other like alcove over here, but pulls it off to the side, and it kind of just like, this capybara is going fucking crazy now, but it's so like it's going crazy at the chain itself, and so the little thing is able to sneak on by, and he runs off, and that is where we'll end our session.
All right.
Exciting. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
So
was awesome,
our
yeah.
A
current
vaguely ominous thing to say. That's what people say like right before they say something like, "But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disband the campaign."
no. It definitely was not a chain reaction set off by that pathway falling down that's going to eventually take this whole gem mine further into the Underdark. And then we just throw out Icewind Dale and throw in Out of the Abyss.
All of Tourmaline just collapses into a sinkhole.
Which
Out of the Icewind Abyss Dale.
out of the abyss, but everything is snow. And all the towns are still just 10 towns, but now it's in the Underdark.
10 hells.
Yeah. Well, we are Everybody's a Mimic. This was our 12th session. Wow. My goodness.
Damn.
I know, right? We're not that far in, but we're reaching the end of our of what you consider the first arc of Icewind Dale, and so we're pretty excited. We hope you've enjoyed listening to us. If you'd like more information on our webcast and our group and those wonderful people who play behind the screens, you can find us at everybody'samimic.wordpress.com. You can find us on YouTube under Everybody's a Mimic if you just search it, and we are on Twitch, obviously. That's where you're listening. Well, no, not obviously. You'd be listening to us on YouTube. We are on Twitch at twitch.tv/everybody's a mimic, all lowercase and no apostrophes, because those are not allowed in URLs, I don't think. My name is Corey. I am your dungeon master. I was joined by the wonderful Del Nadre, played by
Blake.
And the ever so resourceful Bitte, played by
Carson.
And finally, everybody's lovable kobold killer, Rosemary.
I tried, but I'm right. I did my best with the thing I couldn't actually turn into.
Everybody's favorite giant spider. Oh, I mean giant wolf spider without a web ability.
Everyone's favorite fucking cheater.
But despite everything, our party this session was able to defeat the Grail, have found their way into the second level of the mine, and are getting closer and closer to the truth of what's happening here.
I want that truth.
And that will be
You
joining.
can't handle the truth.
We'll be joining you guys next time. We don't have a date for it, but we do have some good news. One of our players, Del Nadre, got a new position this week. Was it this week? Was it last week?
Yeah, it was this past Monday.
This past Monday. Woo! Which could potentially lead to a change of schedule, but that is a discussion we'll have in the future. And we are very excited to have you guys listen to us. Once again, we are Everybody's Mimic, an actual play D&D 5th edition podcast playing Icewind Dale, Rime the Frostmaiden.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Fuck yeah.
Love you. Bye.